Hi, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving weekend to you all. I say weekend because this game is going to be played a few times over the weekend. You're going to hear us. I'm Tom King with Jason Roby. John Collins will be here soon to call the play-by-play of tonight's game. It's the annual North-South Turkey Bowl, which is now the Turkey Eve Bowl. And it is a chilly one at Stellos Stadium. We had rain throughout the day, but it is now not raining. It is dry, or at least it will be dry soon, and it will be cold as the temperature is falling. But that scoreboard, Jason Roby, that's filled with zeros right now, there's going to be some numbers put up there tonight.
Yeah, you might have to call NASA in a little bit here to run the scoreboard. I'm fully expecting both of these teams to put some points on the board, some exciting football. Both of these teams run a spread offense, but they're very different styles in that North likes to run the football, and South with Holland at quarterback throws it around a little bit, but also has a pretty strong running game. So I think you're going to see a couple of teams here tonight, Tom, that have had an extensive off-season prior to this game. You're talking anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 weeks to prepare for each other. So I'm fully expecting these two teams to be fully loaded tonight.
There's been a lot of idle time. Now, you had some years where you played this game 3 days time off. And you've had some years where you played this game 2 weeks time off, or even more, 2.5. What's it like when you have that much time, when you have a lot of time?
You know, it's a difficult thing because you've got a lot of downtime. You've got to find ways to keep the kids engaged. And there are a lot of ways you can do that. There are things you can do in the weight room. You know, you can test your kids.
Right.
There are some things you can do outside of the realm of football, team building type things. And then obviously you might not practice every day during the week. On the other side of that, if you're coming off of a shorter time to prepare for this game, you're either coming off an emotional win or a very emotional loss, which also can be taxing. So they each have their pluses and their minuses, but it is a difficult thing. I'm sure both of these teams are finally ready to be able to hit a team in a different color jersey tonight.
That's just it. North did an inter-squad scrimmage. I don't think South did, but they did a lot of different things to try to make it interesting over the course of the week. And I think that right now, if you had to look at this game, if you look at the first game, it was 8-8 at halftime. You know, North had that long touchdown pass, you know, the catch and run, you know, by Austin Roulette. South, you know, they were, you know, their offense was moving, and they dominated the second half, Jason Roby. What did South do in that game differently in the second half that got them a 34-15 win during the regular season, a game that set the tone for the entire season?
Well, I think you got to look at someone like Jalen Pacheco, who's a battering ram between the tackles, and
right.
That's 220 pounds downhill, full speed coming at you, and he can wear out a lot of defenses. Talking to Coach Knight tonight, he was a little banged up in the Pinkerton playoff game, but he's full speed tonight and ready to go. So I think he's a difference maker. And you know, when you have a player like Pacheco who can run downhill so hard, you got to put more people in the box. What that does is it frees up some of your receivers downfield, and Holland was able to put the ball on some of those guys and extend some drives. So tonight, obviously, you know, the big deal is going to be you got to stop that run. You got to stop Pacheco first and foremost, and then you have to be able to contain Holland, or else it could be a long night.
You know, I talked to both coaches as you did during the week, and they both said, you know what, anytime it's the last of anything, it's a big deal.
Right.
And this is the last game for a lot of good seniors. R.J. Jenkins for North, Sean Holland for South, and that they topped the list.
Sure.
And there's a long list underneath them. What's it like for the seniors when you're coaching them, as you coached in this game before? What's it like in the days leading up to the game and during the game for these guys that are out here for the last time? Because as Scott Knight said, a lot of these kids may never play football again.
And as a coach, you always stress the importance of, look, you have another opportunity next week. You have another opportunity next week. There are no more opportunities for a lot of these kids. It'll be the last time they put the pads on, the last time they play organized football in a setting like this. It's Stellos Stadium under the lights. And so for a lot of these kids, it's the last time they're ever going to be in an environment like this. And it's very difficult. You know, there is no tomorrow for a lot of these kids. And it's a culmination of 4 years of hard work. And so anybody that ever says, you know, a game like this is an exhibition game and it doesn't matter. You know, Coach Lorendi told me something real interesting last week. He said it matters at the end when you either win or you lose. And I think to every player out there and every coach out there, it does matter. And otherwise we wouldn't be here. So I think you're going to see all of these kids from both sides of the river give their best tonight and try and represent their school and really use it as a springboard into the offseason and into next year.
The lights are on. It's nighttime. This is the second year that we're doing a night game the night before. I think a lot of people like it that are involved in the game. They don't, they get their Thanksgiving off in a way and the whole bit. What did you think about this, the night game?
I think it's great. I think it's great. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that families travel. A lot of plans have to be altered when on Thanksgiving morning, you have to come here. Look, times change. Opinions change.
Right.
You have your diehards that think, we play Thanksgiving morning. Then you have people that say, look, we travel. I think it's the best of both worlds. You get night football. You get two, teams that have a great rivalry now since 2004 going at it. I think it's a wonderful thing to come here on a Wednesday night. I've already run into a few of my former players. It's great to see them come out for the game.
Right.
I think it's great. And I think that, anytime you put the lights on, it brings something out special in all these kids.
The two teams, South, you look at them as offense. I thought in the second half of the season, North's defense suffered a little bit.
Yeah.
What will they try to do to remedy that in this game?
Well, you run your system, and that's the big thing. You have a system with a sometimes you have a contingency plan, but you really primarily stay in what you're comfortable in doing. There's a lot of film out there on both these teams, so after watching, sometimes your weaknesses can be exposed a little bit. You can see how teams adjust to motion. You can see how they line up to certain formations, and then you try and take advantage of that. And so that's the advantage of using today's technology with the huddle sideline and all the video software out there, that you really can break down your opponent. And I know, talking to Coach Lorenzi this week, he actually had some of his kids breaking down some of the Nashua South stuff to really keep them engaged. We talk about what are some things you do. Well, he had them break down some of the South offense, and some of the players came back with a whole lot of insight.
That's a good idea. And if you do those kinds of things, you do keep your kids kind of engaged. You keep your kids kind of moving. You keep your kids working. You do a lot of different things to try to make it different. But one thing that hasn't been different over the last couple of years is this South team can score points.
In bunches. They can score in bunches. They, again, led by their quarterback, a 3-year starter, and Sean Holland. And he's shown the ability to roll outside the pocket and put the ball on people to the right side, to the left side, stay in the pocket, make people miss. So the big thing, I think you mentioned earlier, what the North defense really has to focus on, in my opinion, and after having played some really good quarterbacks in this North-South rivalry, most recently, you talk about Trevor Knight, the quarterback for UNH, who will be playing the first round of the playoffs this weekend at Wildcat Stadium in Durham. You have to stay in your rushing lanes. You can't get out of your rushing lanes. So as a defensive line, you got to play it like a kickoff, because anytime that Holland can break the contain, can get outside the tackles, he can beat you in a lot of different ways. So that, to me, first and foremost, is what the North defense has to be focused on tonight.
Well, in that game, Sean Holland, in the regular season game, a 34-15 win by South. Sean Holland ran for 148 yards, and he also had 1 touchdown, and he also threw for 189 and 1 touchdown. He was the difference in the game, and Dante Lorenzi, the coach at Nashua North, thought that game springboarded Holland for the rest of the season. They made the playoffs. They lost to Pinkerton in the quarterfinals. And now both teams are here. They're here to play. And our man, Matt Neverett, was at both practices this week and talked to both coaches. Here's Matt Neverett talking with North coach Dante Lorenzi.
Coach, what's it going to be like playing this Nashua South team for the second time in the year? What changes in your preparation are you going to make?
Well, obviously they're a lot better than they were when they first time around. We have to get better all around than we did the first time. We didn't do a great job offensively moving the chains, and we didn't do a good job of limiting their big plays. So we need to do a lot better in that, and hopefully we can do that this time.
And I know you're looking ahead to this game, but in terms of next year, you've got a very young team. How does that change your mindset going into the offseason, and what really are your expectations moving ahead?
I think any offseason, just the expectations ought to get better, get bigger, stronger, build a lot of team camaraderie, you build these guys together so we have something to look forward to for next year. It is a very long offseason, so you try and enjoy the football stuff when you can, and hopefully we can improve in that area.
And your last game was against Keene on the 28th of October. You're not going to be playing until the day before Thanksgiving. What challenges does that long break present for you and your coaching staff?
It's tough because you're going nearly a month without playing football, so just keeping the kids' interest consistently, especially with the other sports starting now and open gyms for basketball and wrestling and hockey. So the biggest thing is kind of keeping them focused and letting them realize we have another game and another opportunity to go out and compete.
And speaking of specifics, what did you like this year about the development of your quarterback, Mike Loveless?
Mike did a great job. He got better each week, really progressed, understanding the offense. So anytime you can have a guy who's hardworking, intelligent, get better every week, it's a bonus for us, not only as an offense but as a team. And Mike's got a great work ethic, and we're expecting him to have another great offseason.
And what does this Turkey Bowl game mean for you? Obviously a staple in the history of Nashua, but it's kind of changed over the years, and now you're playing the night before Thanksgiving, and the night game, I think it adds a little bit of an extra level of excitement.
Yeah, I think last year worked out really well, came down to the wire. We're used to playing Friday night, so I think the kids are accustomed to it. It was a great atmosphere. We think it'll be another great atmosphere again. And like I said earlier, it's just another chance to go out and compete, have a little bit of fun, hopefully get a chance to enjoy a good Thanksgiving if you get the win, and go out and always helps when you win this game.
Nashua High School North football coach Dante Laurenti, thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, RJ Jenkins, you missed some time this year with some foot and ankle injuries. How fortunate do you feel to have this extra game to play and end your season about a month after your final regular season game?
It feels good, Missing those games definitely hurt a lot because, watching my team lose a couple of times, it's not fun to watch. But I'm blessed to be able to have this last game, lucky to play against my rival school. I have a bunch of friends on this side, like Derek Down, Alex Miko. So it's fun one more time, play against some good friends, play with my good friends, and get one more win on the board.
And in terms of specifics, what's your game plan going to be like facing this talented Nashua South team for a second time?
Run fast, run hard, and do what coach tells you to do. Nothing new. Just doing things we did all year.
Just trust the process, right?
Yeah, trust the process.
And you hinted on it a little bit earlier. How much added excitement does not only the Turkey Bowl game, playing against some friends and rivals, but now it's at night for the second straight year? Is it really all the perfect storm in your eyes?
Yeah, because Thanksgiving, I don't really want to play on Thanksgiving morning because I want to eat. So you can't really focus on playing this game and then think about all the food you're going to have later. For the night before, it's everyone comes home from college to come watch the game, and then the next day you have Thanksgiving with your family. So it's real nice to have that scheduled day.
RJ Jenkins, thanks a lot for joining me. Joined now by quarterback Mike Loveless. This was your first year really running the offense at the helm as a starting quarterback. What changes did you make from last year heading into this year, knowing that change in your role was happening?
Just a lot of preparation in the offseason. Coaches run extra drills after practice, after workouts. That's basically it.
And how special is this Turkey Bowl game to you, not only playing Nashua South for the second time, but getting to play on a big stage the night before Thanksgiving, way after your guys' last game?
Yeah, it's super important. I mean, you got a lot of friends and relatives coming. I mean, the whole school basically goes. I mean, it's a big game. It's the last game of the year. It's the tone setter for next season.
And what changes are you going to make on the offensive side of the ball facing Nashua South for a second straight time?
We're just going to, make our blocks, do our reads, do our jobs.
And I guess lastly, what challenges does having almost a month off between your last game and the Turkey Bowl, what challenges does that bring up?
I mean, it's cold and we haven't played in a while, but we're out here working. We're working hard. Coaches have us prepared, watching a lot of film, breaking it down, going to the weight room a lot. We're ready.
Mike Loveless, Nashua North, starting quarterback.
And thank you very much, Matt Never. Some interesting stuff from Dante Laurenti, but I think the big thing for North this year, if they had a winning season, 5-4, but I think the most important thing is they developed themselves a pretty good quarterback in Mike Loveless. What are your thoughts on Mike?
Yeah,
Mike.
Chicago Mike, they call him. Yeah, he was a real big blessing for the Titans. And coming into this year, there were some question marks for Coach Laurenti and his staff. Who was going to be the kid pulling the trigger? Because when you run an offense like this, you need a guy that you can count on. And Mike really proved to be that young man. He's had himself a terrific year. He's done some great things with his arm and with his legs, and has really led this team nicely. And Coach Laurenti is quick to point out that fact when he talks about his team and the success they've had offensively. They can put points up in bunches just like Nashua South can. And Mike Loveless gets a lot of that credit because it starts and ends with the play of the quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, South has had that luxury with Sean Holland. They've had it for 3 years now. and that's going to be different to see someone else next year taking snaps. Do we have any idea who that might be?
A young freshman. Coach Knight has indicated that they have a young man who's playing pretty well for them and does some nice things with the look team and things of that nature. I believe it's Chris Keefe. I'm not 100% certain.
Well, we've seen Keefe out there before.
It is a freshman,
so,
and
yep.
they feel really good about his speed. They feel really good about his leadership skills. And once again, which has been the battle cry for the South Panthers, is another young man that, if he does the job, can step in and play for 3 years.
Well, another guy, young man who's done the job. And also, one other guy we got to mention before we go to Matt Never again is Curtis Harris, the freshman back for North. He is going to watch him in this game. I think he could be a surprise.
Special player, no
Definitely,
question.
no doubt about it. Matt Never also talked to Scott Knight and the Panthers at their practice. I was at one of their practices this week. Froze my you-know-what. It was just freezing outside. But Matt Never braved the cold, and he had some good interviews, and let's go to him right now.
Joined now by head coach Scott Knight, playing Nashua North for the second time on the season. Obviously, you don't normally get that chance unless it comes in the playoffs. So what are you going to be looking for the second time around? Obviously, you guys won the first game, but what challenges does it present playing a team for the second straight time?
I mean, one of the things is, we're both North more so than us. We're looking at like a couple-week layoff, so hopefully be sharp. I know the first time we played them, I thought we had some tough situation down in the red zone, and I thought we left some points on the board, and we aim to clean some stuff up, and I'm sure they're going to look at that, some of their opportunities too, and hopefully play a clean game and do a little better job taking care of the ball than the last time out.
And for you guys, you scored 287 points in your last 7 games after only averaging about 10 in the first 2 games. What clicked for you in that Merrimack game especially?
What clicked was the run game. I mean, once we the first couple games, and in not just the first couple games, but in our 3 scrimmages, we were trying to find our way in our run game. Sometimes it takes a little while to find out what you're good at, and as those weeks went on, we started figuring some things out and shuffled a couple guys around the O-line and got into a better groove and got into a comfort zone running the football. So once we got going with that, we knew we could throw the ball. And once we got going with that, some other things opened up, and special teams started playing a little bit better, and things started coming together.
And you fell a couple of weeks ago to Pinkerton in your first round matchup. What adjustments are you going to take from that game heading into this Turkey Bowl matchup?
Well, that's a tough one because the adjustments. I mean, defensively, I mean they're a wing T team, and we had an issue there. They ran a buck sweep, and we didn't play it right, and then a couple other guys got messed up because it was kind of a chain reaction of a chain of events that kind of messed us up on that side of the ball. But for the most part, most of the things we aimed to shut down, we did a pretty good job. It was just really 2 different plays. So, I mean, will we defend these guys the same? Absolutely not. They're a different team. These guys are spread gun. They will throw a lot of 2-back sets at you and do some power run game and stuff like that. But it's a completely different type of offense. So it'll be a little different for us.
Nashua High School South head coach Scott Knight, thanks a lot for joining me.
Hey, thank you.
I'm joined by Alex Amigo, and you've done a number of different things this year. Your coaches and teammates have found a number of different ways to get you the ball in space. How did your role progress throughout the year?
I really think it was more of a team effort rather than a personal effort. Slow start to the season. First 2 games were losses. And then the Merrimack game, we really started to click as a unit. And I think ever since the Merrimack game, we didn't look back.
And how has your advanced role in the offense, how is that factoring into the Turkey Bowl prep?
It's really the same prep that we've had all year for most games. Obviously different schemes and all that, but just playing hard, playing 100% every single time, and I think good things will come if we play like we do.
And you hinted at it, but what changed in that Merrimack game? You guys rattled off 7 straight wins after that, and really the offense especially looked a big change.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Merrimack game showed what we were really capable of doing, and we didn't really show that in the first 2 games. But once we realized that we could actually put up some points, and our defense got together, and we were all clicking really well. And I think the Merrimack game was just a good example of what we were capable of doing, and we never looked back, and we just believed that we could do it every game.
Looking ahead, what does this Turkey Bowl game mean for you personally?
Personally, I'm just taking it as another game. Obviously, it's a special one because it's my last high school football game ever, and I'm really going to miss playing with all these guys and my team, and it's going to be a lot different next year not being on the field in a purple jersey.
Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined now by Sean Holland, and your season really can be defined by the first 2 games and then the 7 games afterwards. What clicked for you guys in that Merrimack game that sparked you on that offensive run that really led to your success this year?
We were just really practicing hard all year, and we just caught our break in the Merrimack game, and that kind of spurred into the rest of the season. So we were a good team. We have a lot of seniors coming back, so that just kind of led to that experience. And we saw in the second half of the season we definitely played well. So. And
what does a Turkey Bowl game mean to you personally?
Oh, it's definitely a big game. It's tradition. You know, we play them every year, so we definitely out here to win, and we're looking forward to it.
So what does it mean to be playing your last game in a Purple Panthers uniform?
Oh, it definitely means a lot. You know, you build relationships with people over these 4 years, and Turkey Bowl, there's always family comes and all that stuff, and teachers and former teammates. So it's great to see them. So it's definitely an important game for me and the rest of the team.
Sean Holland, Nashua South quarterback. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Matt Never. Some interesting stuff, as always, from Scott Knight, who I think with Scott Knight you ask him one question, and that's all you need, because he just goes right on. He likes to talk and give you information, and he gave Matt Never plenty of it there. But I want information from you, Jason Roby. The first Turkey Bowl, which is going to be aired tomorrow, first North-South Turkey Bowl, which is going to be aired tomorrow at noon, Thursday at noon. And that is going to be something to watch.
Yeah,
that'll bring back memories.
Yeah,
so you
sure
tell
does.
me some of your memories.
I'll tell you a little story about that. That was, and NashuaETV has been doing a great job, Pete Johnson, of putting all the games on. And one of the games that was missing was the first ever Turkey Bowl played between North and South.
Right, which we did with TV13.
Back at TV13 in 2004. And yourself and Coach Hardy, the South coach for many years, did the play-by-play. And that game was never shown. Nobody had a copy of it. And I ran into Billy Munson, who happens to be the offensive coordinator for Nashua South. Now, you actually just saw him in the background during the interviews. And I said, Billy, do you have a copy of that film? Because Billy played his first 3 years as a Panther, and then his last year he played as a Nashua North Titan. So he played fullback for me in that first ever Turkey Bowl. Rushed for a touchdown, had a great season for us, and yeah, that game was great.
Obviously, did you trade for him?
It was
what?
Well. He said, I
don't remember that.
We gave him some credit.
I did a story on him when he was a Panther.
Yep.
And
he scored the winning touchdown in that very cold semifinal game over at Manchester West against Manchester Memorial. All the games were played at Memorial that year.
It was a Friday night game.
And it was cold.
Yes,
Boy, was it cold. Billy Munson.
I remember being upset when they moved it to a night game.
Yeah, Billy Munson rips off a nice run and scores what happens to be the game-winning touchdown for us. And I ran into him a couple of weeks ago, and I said, hey, do you have a copy of that Thanksgiving Day game? And he says, I do, on VHS. And I said, wow, they still have those on. We found a couple of machines, and Pete Johnson was nice enough to take it and make a copy of it. And so the folks will be able to relive that very first Turkey Bowl game, a 33-14 Nashua North win, which is also great.
So well.
Which is also great. But
right.
It was really the first of what happened to be many great games, not just on Thanksgiving, but great regular season games. We played them in the playoffs back in 2010, in the semifinals,
yes.
And we had a 56-49 game here back in 2009, which was a great game. We have had some great battles, regardless of the records. So hopefully you're going to see another one of those games here tonight.
But I think there was 1 year. It was, I think, your next to last one, where you had a quarterback, and I don't remember the name, and he got hurt, and then he came back in and scored the winning touchdown.
Yeah, he threw the winning touchdown. He threw the winning touchdown to Philadelphia and out of the backfield, and his name was Brendan Martin.
Yes,
he was an outstanding young man. And
he was a character.
He was great.
He was a fun kid to talk to.
Boy, he played hard, and he was a fun kid. And that was a team that we beat the Trevor Knight-led Panthers.
It was like 14-10.
It was 14-13. They missed an extra point. They missed an extra point. We made both of ours. And
classic game.
It came down to the last play where Trevor was scrambling in the back and threw a ball 50 yards up the field, desperation time, fell incomplete in the end zone, and we stormed the field like we had just won the national title. It was a great game.
And that's the way that feeling was. I think that feeling last year.
Yeah.
When
a great game.
When they ended up the great goal line stand, stopping Levi Goslin inside at the 1 yard line.
Right.
You know, for South, and North was favored in that game. South came in and defensively just played. It was an up and down game.
Back and forth.
But that goal line stand, incredible.
Yeah, and it
was a great way to end, and a great way to end the first night game that was played.
And it was a great springboard, I think, for Nashua South heading into this year. You know, they rode the wave of that game, and it led them to victory. So, John Collins now joining us here on NashuaETV. John, good to see you. Happy pre-Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you, Jason.
Thank you, sir.
You got your reading glasses?
Yeah, I got them.
You don't need them. They have Bob Bates rosters
Oh,
here.
my gosh. If I knew that, I would have just started.
I texted you that we have it.
Sorry. Should have looked.
Yeah,
I was
right,
scrambling.
exactly.
I was driving, so I didn't read anymore.
It sounds like he was just running the stairs.
Yes, I did. I got my pre-Thanksgiving run in.
There you go.
All right, guys, we're going to break now for the national anthem.
Ready for some football.
Great job done by the South Band as the national anthem has been played. Bob Bates, who is doing the game here tonight on the PA because Jason Roby's working for us, is got his signature trademark announcing going on. And John Collins, I'm going to turn things over to you as I will see you guys midway through the first half.
Thank you, Tom King. Thank you for your wealth of knowledge as always. Pleased to be joined by Jason Roby for this Turkey Bowl. Jason, who was down on the sideline for several of these games. What's it like? I'm sure Tom kind of went over with it already.
Yeah, you know, the big thing is it's the last one, right? So it's really the springboard into the next season, and it means a lot to a lot of these outgoing seniors. This is the game that they all come back for after they've graduated, and they'll meet here. As I mentioned to Tom earlier, you have a chance to.
You're seeing some handshakes.
You do. That's a good sign.
That's a good thing. That
These
was
kids
in the
know
news,
each other.
Baker Mayfield,
and
all
that's,
that.
you know, yeah, exactly. No Baker Mayfield out there. But this is the culmination of 4 years of hard work for all these young men, and it's going to be a good, hard, clean game. And I think the biggest thing for me is, and Tom mentioned it earlier, you know, you get to see generations of kids. You know, you have, I mentioned Christian filling out earlier, and his brother. His brother played for me as well, and the Goslin brothers played for me. And, you know, you see all these kids come through the program, and it's just an exciting time. They all come back, they all watch the game, and they all meet here to go do, you know, have an eggnog maybe later in the evening. And it's a good thing, you know, to bring the party, to bring the kids back to the city. With their backs to us, the Purple Panther senior captains are Jarrett Buren, Alex Amigo, Derek Chiavelli, and Sean Holland. Only Kyle Reeder, number 72, was not out there. Right, I think, and you can only bring 4, I think, out onto the field. So I'm not, you know, Scott Knight mentioned that all of his guys are healthy, so I'm sure Reeder's probably in there somewhere. He's a very, very tall young man, so I'm sure we'll see him soon enough. And Ryan Jenkins and Bryant Montmany out there for the Titans to determine who will get the opening kickoff here of the 2017 Turkey Bowl being played. I think it's the second year it's been played on the eve of Thanksgiving, a night game. It was a typical
wet and chilly November day here in southern New Hampshire, but the downpour stopped. That's a plus.
And you know that makes for a better game. Obviously, with the field turf they have down there, you're not going to have any issues with the turf and grass ripping up, so that's good. But also, you want to see a nice, clean game. And you know, after watching Nashua South a couple of weeks ago against Pinkerton, they turned the ball over, I think, 5 or 6 times in that game. And you know, hopefully, because it's not wet and it's good conditions and it's a last game, we'll see a pretty clean, efficient game here tonight. As the Titans line up to kick off to the Panthers.
It was exactly 2 months ago that these two teams squared off here at Stellos on a September 22 contest that was won by South. They defeated North 34-15. A lot of football has been played since then. South ended up with an overall record of 7-2. North at 5-4. And we'll have the opening kickoff here. North's number 18, Caio Campo, will be teeing it up and kicking it off from the 40-yard line. As you can see, as we look down the line of the Nashua North kick coverage team, it's fielded at the 22-yard line. A quick dance and a spin, maybe a run back of about 4 yards to the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Campo's kick, a rainmaker right there, allowed the Nashua North Titan kickoff team to get down the field and really limit the return to 1 yard. So they'll set up shop on their own 26, but great coverage by the kickoff team of the Titans.
Multiple camera angles here on NashuaETV for the 2017 Turkey Bowl. Right behind us, executive producer Pete Johnson calling the shots, and we're looking forward to some great looks, great angles, and up-close views of the fans and the players here at this rivalry game. Sean Holland will hand off the opening snap on offense. It is a run up the middle for a short gain. Number 30 on the carry was Jarrett Beering.
Yeah, Jarrett Beering is a real good player, solid player. Coach Knight says one of their best. And South will come out in a spread formation, very heavy on the trips to one side, single receiver to the other side. We'll see what they have dialed in for 2nd and long. They'll check the play.
Sean Holland, who has been a thriller of a quarterback to watch here on NashuaETV in all the games that we've done. Handoff, this one turns into a rugby scrum, a step beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
And I'll tell you what you saw right there is North is lining up in a 5-2 defense, which is a pretty difficult front to block when you have all 5 offensive linemen covered up. So they came out in something a little bit different, back to their 3-4 look, I believe, but they were in a 52 the play prior to that.
And it looks more like a 42 to me. There's a 5 in there. Holland, straight drop to pass, flushed out of the pocket to the left. He's going to run it now. He's got a 1st down as he gets out of bounds at about the 40.
One of the things you see there, John, it was a 3-4 defense. The way you know that is because they have a stand-up defensive end, which is really like an outside linebacker, and 3 interior guys down. They do cover the center up, but so it is a 3-man front with a guy up extra in the box. And one of the things you talked about pregame is you got to play your lanes. And right there, it looked like the right side of the North defense just gave Holland the edge, and he turned it into a 1st down.
Holland takes the 1st and 10 snap in the shotgun. Scrambling to his right, he finds Beering. Beering dances around one tackler, gets tripped up and falls forward for a nice gain.
Yeah, right there, just using his legs to turn nothing into something, and a great shoestring tackle there by junior for the Titans, sophomore Ryan Ali made a great shoestring tackle there, or else that would have been a bigger play for the Panthers.
Yes, the tackle was made after a 7-yard gain by Beering on the pass reception from Holland. It's 2nd and 3, rolling to his left. Holland's got a blocker, and he's going to take advantage as he goes beyond the 1st down marker to gain and gets driven out of bounds, but not till he gets a gain of about 10.
And what you're going to see there, John, is, and I think this is going to be a huge factor for the Titan defense tonight, is Holland likes to roll to his left. He rolls very well to his left and throws against his body, as we've seen all year. The Titans have to account for that edge, and by edge I mean the exterior part of that defensive line. You cannot let him break contain. So far, the plays that have been successful is because he has broken contain.
Holland will hand off to the man in motion. Trying to turn the corner is Derek Downing. Downing might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but he now appears to be in pain. Paid the price for a long run, but no real gain on the play. Credit to the North contained defense.
Great play there by number 21, Curtis Harris, one of the true freshmen for North who starts for them. He is a great player and should have some great years in front of him here for the Titan team. And he just came and did what we call run the alley. He filled that lane really well and made a loss for the Panthers.
Derek Downing holding his left elbow. Holland's going to scramble to his left, squares up, looks to pass, had a man slightly open down the field. That was John Champa, but good coverage by North. Nothing much there to look at for Holland.
Yeah, it looked like they had all the zones pretty well covered, and the defensive end on the right side of that Titan defense looked like he came inside of a block. You've got to maintain your gap. You've got to maintain your leverage, and that's the one thing I just keep seeing here on film.
As you can see, South offense looking to the sideline to their coaching staff for the Panthers.
Now they're going to set up trips into the boundary here.
It is 3rd and long, 3rd and about 12. They need to get to the 32 to get a first down. Holland with a straight two-step drop, looking to throw straight down the field. He's got a man wide open. It is complete to the 5. Touchdown, South, a completion. It is Sean Holland to Alex Amigo for 44 yards and a touchdown.
Amigo ran right down the hash, wide open in that particular play. Holland stayed in the pocket. So they set up a nice pocket around Holland. He kept his feet, he kept his composure, and hit him with a big one right down the seam. Looked like broken coverage there for the Titans.
Yes. Amigo got wide open downfield, and he actually had to pull up for the pass, which was a wise play. I mean, you don't have to be perfect when you get that wide open, and Holland put it there for the 44-yard score. The kick after the touchdown is good.
I think one of the things there too, John, I want to make sure I don't speak out of turn, but you know, sometimes your defense is set up. You're a field or you're a boundary defense, and South set their offensive play into the boundary. And so North may have been outnumbered or may have not been in the ideal coverage from the boundary part of their defense. And they'll have to fix that, or else it's going to be a long night, because Holland had all night to throw that ball, and as you said, wide open down the seam.
Alex Amigo makes it 6-0, and then Josh Martin with the extra point, 7-0 lead for the Panthers. And that took just under 3 minutes off of the game clock here in the first quarter. So South strikes first. They won the regular season matchup 34-15. Of course, North doesn't want them to run away with the Turkey Bowl game, where memories are made. And while we have a little bit of a break, congratulations to the Winnicott Warriors, the Division I champs. Talk about a memory-making season for them.
They took Pinkerton out behind the woodshed, and that was a bloodbath. And that's a good Pinkerton team, a real good Pinkerton team. I just think it was Winnicott's year. You know, they have a very, very good team. They're well coached. We used to scrimmage them all the time, and had a couple of games against them, and you always knew you were going to be in a good old-fashioned brawl when you played Winnicott.
End over end kick by Martin is fielded at the 15-yard line, looking for an opening that just isn't there. The return man for North, I believe that was number 3.
Yeah, it looked like Ali again,
yeah.
young sophomore
but he hung
for the
on.
Titans. He hung on, and you know the kicking game again going to be a huge factor in tonight's game. Missed and made extra points, kickoff coverage. All those things are huge components of the game that you really can't overlook, and you really get to spend a little extra time on them when you have such a long layoff, as both of these teams did.
1st and 10 on the 27-yard line for the Titans in their first offensive possession of the game. As you know, if you just saw, the Panthers ate up 3 minutes with their opening drive and ended up with a touchdown. That run play goes for maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That was freshman Curtis Harris again, and he's been getting the bulk of the carries lately. R.J. Jenkins banged up a little bit at the end of the year, so Curtis Harris forced the duty. He's done a nice job.
And we will see if North goes to the pass right away here on 2nd down. They don't. The handoff is to Jenkins, and he is stuffed near the right side of the line. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Like to see Jenkins get himself established here early on, because in order to have success in the passing game, you really need to establish the run, and North is a heavy run team. 3rd and long here for the Titans.
8 yards to be exact, they say. Straight drop for Lovelace, throws way down the sideline, and it is incomplete. A couple steps beyond and to the right of the intended receiver. It'll be 4th down in a punting situation for the Titans.
Coach Knight of Nashua South indicated that, they're going to try to take some shots with Willette down the field, and they did right there. They caught him with one the first meeting, and South was ready for it this time around as they send 2 safeties back to return this punt.
Austin Willette, number 5, the main weapon when the Titans go to the air. The punt, low, wobbler. It's going to be bouncing in free space here. Now South just gets away from it. A slow roll will take it to the 36-yard line. So decent field position for South on their 2nd offensive possession of the game.
Part of the reason why you put those 2 safeties back there is because you want to set up some kind of a return, and those low kicks are great kicks to return, and unfortunately for South, they didn't pick it up, but as you alluded, they'll set up a pretty good position here on their own 36-yard line.
Sean Holland has that quick strike ability at quarterback for the Panthers. He's impressed us with his arm strength and accuracy throughout this 2017 season.
South in a 2-by-2 here. Here comes a stretch play.
Amigo gets the handoff. He's trying to slice his way through the defense. Maybe gets a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looked like Harris again up from his safety position to make that play for the Titans. Minimal gain, setting up a 2nd down and about 7.5, 8 yards for the Panthers. Again, they go to their 2-by-2 set.
And again, Holland in the shotgun.
Probably looking at some kind of a counter play here back into the boundary. We'll see.
Might have changed the play there at the line of scrimmage. And the handoff to the lone running back goes nowhere. Good defense by North up front.
Yeah, the interior front of North was ready for that. Just an inside zone run play there that was sniffed out pretty easily by North. Good for a couple yards, so 3rd and 6. Pretty big play here for both teams.
Good look at the fans that have braved the elements here at Stellos Stadium for the 2017 Turkey Bowl. Still in the 1st quarter, just under 7 minutes to go. South with a 7-0 lead, trying to add to it here on 3rd and 5. Holland pulls it down. Now he'll throw it. He's got Amigo for a 1st down over the middle.
Yeah, Amigo with a great catch there, and Holland got some happy feet, but one thing he did is kept his composure. There was a nice pocket set up around Holland, so he really could have done 2 things there. He could have tucked it and ran, but saw Amigo wide open down the field and hit him with the pass.
Yeah, that was a pretty good campfire area there around Holland. Great protection.
Everything but the marshmallows. Yeah.
But his offensive line did the job and gave him extra time. The keeper, Holland, is tackled in the backfield. That could go as a sack.
That's a designed run play there by the quarterback. There were no intentions. It was just a quarterback keep, and North had that sniffed out pretty well. Loss in the play, set up 2nd and about 11 for the Panthers.
.6:05 remaining 1st quarter. Sean Holland looked to his sideline, got the play call. As you can see, full complement of timeouts remain for both teams, 3 apiece. Holland is going to pull it down and run with it. He is well past the 1st down marker. Flag flies behind him. 2 flags fly, and this may be coming back as he goes into the end zone for what on the surface appears to be a touchdown, but we'll have to check the penalty flag.
Great run there by Holland, and that all starts with, and I sound like a broken record here, but you can see it as plain as day. They're not keeping contained on the perimeter of the defense. You've got to keep contained and keep them in the pocket. You got to pick your poison. We got a holding on the Panthers, but that particular play, that's a spot foul. So we'll see what the yardage happens to be here. But one of the things
I think if we look, I think it was a face mask when the indication
was it a face mask? I thought maybe a hold. Yeah, holding call right there. But one of the things that you have to consider, it'll be 2nd and short here, so this is a chance when you really want to take a shot deep. So we'll see what they do, either go for the 1st down or take a shot, because you can always come back. You're in 4-down territory essentially. You have 2 shots to get a yard after this play.
A 48-yard touchdown run by Holland comes off the board. They do it from the spot of the foul, which means it is 2nd and 1. Holland's going to do the handoff here. It's a first down.
And then some.
And sprinting past the defenders into the secondary. Number 31 is Julian Gonzalez?
No, Jalen Pacheco.
Jalen Pacheco.
Yeah, talking to Coach Knight before the game, and Jalen was a little bit banged up for that semifinal game, or excuse me, quarterfinal game against Nashua South, and you know, he's at full strength now, so I think you just saw a pretty strong run there through the interior of that Nashua North defense.
Pacheco is back there with Holland again.
It's a keep, it's an RPO.
Holland
to keep it.
With a nice gain on first down.
As we've talked about before, you have the option to either run the football or throw it to the perimeter based on what the coverage in the secondary is doing, and the corner stayed on the number 1 receiver, so Holland ate it and carried it for a nice gain on first down.
So 2nd and 3 for the Panthers. Again, Sean Holland looking to the sideline to get the play call. He's got Brian Pacheco standing right beside him, and he's going to throw to one of his 3 receivers, split to the right. Downing turns the corner at the 5, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. A 13-yard swing pass to Derek Downing for the Panthers' 2nd touchdown of the game.
You'll see right there that North had a couple of chances to tackle him for little or no gain. They missed those tackles, and he goes in for the 13-0 lead. So right away, you know, South showing the ability to do it on the ground and through the air. North will have to make some adjustments, and sometimes, you know, your best defense is having an offense that can stay on the field. So these 3 and outs for Nashua North are going to have to be limited today. They're going to have to move that football.
And Martin rifles that one through off of his right leg. It's a 14-0 lead for the South Panthers. Some alliteration going on. This is the education station. I want to point out Alex Amigo and Derek Downing with your touchdown catches for the Panthers so far.
And those are 2 of the main weapons that Holland has at his disposal. And anytime those 2 guys are having a good day, the other team is usually in a bad place, and right now it's 14-0 early, and North certainly not out of this game. As we saw a year ago, that, you know, both teams back and forth and came back from deficits, both of them. North just has to have a good return here, and really, I think the key for them to stay in this is to at least have some success moving the football.
You know, the way South's schedule was set up, Salem and Pinkerton right off the top. That's their only 2 losses.
Right.
They ran the table after that.
They lost to 2 teams all year, Pinkerton
and they
and
were
Salem.
2 really
2
good
of the better
teams.
teams. Yeah.
So they really put it together offensively, especially in the games that we have covered. The run back is to the 27-yard line, 28, and it'll be 1st and 10. Ryan Ali again on the return for the Titans. Good coverage by the Panthers.
Great coverage by the Panthers. Titans will have a long way to go, and Ryan Ali is a young man who's a great athlete. I have him in school and in phys ed classes and so forth, as well as as Curtis Harris. And it's fun to watch these 2 kids, and the future of North football is certainly bright with those 2 young men.
So Mike Lovelace brings his offense out onto the field for only the 2nd time in this game, trailing 14-0. Lovelace fakes the handoff, throws a drop pass into the flat. It is good for a first down.
Now that's a great play right there. That was an RPO, but it was not designed to go to the man closest to Lovelace. It was a 2nd level play, which is a great play. A drag from the backside, it looked like, and man was wide open on the play. The linebackers get sucked up, and Montmany was running free on the crossing route. First down for North. Great play, good design.
Got a whistle here, and
looks like an equipment issue. Maybe a young man missing a knee pad. Let's see, or maybe bleeding. I'm not sure.
So
that was 17 Nick Balla,
comes
right?
off, and in his place will be number 82 Nick Scalera, who was split wide to the left near side. Lovelace, 1st and 10 from his own 38-yard line. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it. Lovelace has got a blocker. Montmany's out in front. Lovelace has got a first down. He's to the 40. A flag flies behind him, and it might negate part of this nice run by the North quarterback.
Boy, I hope not. That could be a ticky-tack foul, but we'll see. Great run there by Lovelace, directing traffic, pointing Montmany out in front, and a nice play and a good design by the Titan offense. And it looks like they are going to call a block in the back. Yeah. A lot of times, and that's a tough one too, because if you're engaged with the player while they're facing you and they turn and you're still engaged, that's not a block in the back. But it appears that the back was hit initially, and so that would turn into a block in the back.
Another spot foul. We'll see if it takes them back inside the first down marker to gain, and it just barely does. It'll be a 1 yard to gain for the first down here for the Titans. So not all bad news, despite the block in the back penalty.
And again, it's going to be short yardage to go here, so be interesting to see if North takes a shot.
So they still call it first down?
Is it
Jason?
What are they saying, first down?
They replay the down?
Anytime he can take an extra down, it's not going to matter because he's going to go for more than that.
Well, that is a nice
Curtis
run
Harris.
outside. Harris had plenty. He turned the corner. He'd already gotten the first down, and he got some more, a lot more. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Titans inside the south half of the field.
Yeah, these young players are real exciting for the Titans, and both teams have some really good young players that have shown some flashes of being, potentially pretty good down the road here for their high schools. It's a 1st and 10 for the Titans from inside South territory now, so hopefully they can sustain this drive and get some points out of it.
We're exactly at the 4-minute mark as the clock rolls down here in the first quarter. North wants to cut the lead and the deficit in half. They trail South 14-0, but great defensive line play by South, and Holland's keeper, Loveless keeper, goes nowhere.
That looked like a play they call wrap, where they actually trap for the quarterback. They get action going one way and they run the lineman the other way, and it opens up a nice hole for the quarterback to go right up the gut, and was well played by the South defense there.
So 2nd down and 11, a 1 yard loss on the first down play. Loveless to his left, eludes a sacker, breaks to the right. He's got 5, he's got a blocker, he's got a first
Great
down.
block right there, he's got more.
Loveless stumbles out of bounds, but after a huge gain of about 23 yards.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the kids never gave up on the play. The interior linemen stayed sustained in their blocks, and second level blocking by the Titans also provided more real estate for Loveless. So a great play on a broken play really for the Titans. First down inside the 20. Let's see if the Titans can do anything inside the red zone.
It was indeed a 23-yard run for Mike Loveless, and it's 1st down and 10 at the 19-yard line. North trailing 14-0 here in the first quarter of the 2017 Turkey Bowl, with a sense of urgency, trying to get some points and make a game of it. Their first down carry off of the right guard, right tackle gap, and it produces about 5 yards.
Looked like Harris again, I think. It was either Harris or Montman, not sure, but the most important thing there was he got downhill right now. What we mean by that, there was no dancing in the backfield, John. He ran straight ahead, found his hole, and hit the hole. And sometimes if you dance too long back there, it can really negate a good solid run. A good solid run on first down. So we have another issue, looks like, with Bala again, and an equipment issue again. So they're looking at it. I don't know if it's a knee pad or a knee brace that they're looking at, and they're talking to the North coaches on the sideline, and they're sending Bala out of the game again for, I don't know if it's some kind of an equipment infraction.
And again, Nick Scalera comes in to take the place of Bala.
It's a knee, I believe it's a knee pad situation, John. I don't think, not sure if the young man was wearing a knee pad or one that maybe wasn't big enough.
2nd and 5. Loveless will hand it off, and over left tackle this time, very close to the yards to gain for the first down, maybe just a little bit short, was number 21, Curtis Harris.
Harris again just getting up the field, and nice run on first down. Or excuse me, on 2nd down, 3rd and 4 now.
3rd and 4,
right.
So South's defense did better on that than I gave them credit for. Now it's going to be probably 2-down territory for North, but
2 downs to get 4. We'll see what they have dialed in.
Montmany.
See too much dancing, and when you dance, the problem is the cavalry's coming.
Yeah.
Take what you can get, because what happens is, and it's hard to understand this as a kid sometimes, see, he's going to dance here, and if he just keeps running, He might be, because now it's going to be 4th and 2. You're not going to get the first down, but you're going to be a lot closer. Now you've got 4th and 4 still, so you don't have anything to show for that particular play. Better to be 4th and 2 than 4th and 4. Obviously, North going to go for it here.
They haven't thrown the ball much, Jason.
Not yet.
Yeah.
They've had the RPO, which was really good for them, the second level pass to across the middle, and one deep ball to Willette, and that's been it. So 1 for 2 right now, I believe, and they'll call timeout and talk it over.
Hey, I get this magazine called American Automobile Association. You have to point out the leaf. You
Yep.
look at the back pocket of Brian Montminy. There it is.
Very good.
Number 27. I don't know if we can see him on the camera here, but oh, maybe he knocked it.
Okay.
Oh, he's right behind.
I
this
saw
thing
it.
there,
Well,
yeah.
'tis the
Anyway,
season,
It is
right?
the
That's
season. Yeah, that's a good indicator. It is just about Thanksgiving. It's tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there that's watching. The holiday stroll, I believe it's this Saturday at 5 o'clock. They light the Christmas tree
City
in
tree,
Railroad
right.
Square, and they expect something around 30,000
Boy, I saw an
people.
aerial view picture of that stroll, and my goodness, there are a lot of people in attendance, and it's
24th annual.
It's great for the city. It brings a lot of business into
Yeah.
the downtown area, and it's nice to see, you know, the folks come out in droves for it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about nice things for the city. You know, we were out on the field earlier today looking at this facility and the trees in the background and this beautiful field, the second turf that the stadium has had as part of a grant that was written for the New England Patriots to help put this turf in. And we're very, very spoiled here, for sure.
Very fortunate. And something to give thanks for. Mike Lovelace rolling to his left, looking to pass. Now he'll dump it over. It is complete. Touchdown. Falling across the
Great
goal
play.
line was Matt Wall.
Yeah, and you'll see here Lovelace looking and making sure that he wasn't over that line of scrimmage, and gets the ball complete right next to the end zone to Wall, and he falls into the end zone. So now we've got a game. The thing we talked about, John, was they've got to get some points off of this drive, if for no other reason than to keep Holland and that South offense off the field. So the best of both worlds here. They come away with points, number one, and number two, they keep the South offense on the sideline.
The extra point by Caio Campo is up, and it is good. So it is a 14-7 game with just under a minute, 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. North's offense produces the points they need to stay in this football game.
A nice drive, a lot of good plays, and you mentioned they hadn't thrown the ball, and they run a great play, and that was reminiscent of a play we ran back in 2012 in the Turkey Bowl that actually, and Tom and I talked about it, actually won us the game. Our quarterback, Brandon Martin, threw a little swing pass out to Christian Filanow and ended up being the game winner for us, 14-13, and that particular play right there brought back some memories for sure.
Mike Lovelace making it happen. He sprinted it out to just about the line of scrimmage, made the right decision. He drew the defenders toward him. He dumped it inside to Matt Wall, number 80, the junior receiver, just ahead, and he twisted over the goal line for 6 points. So Caio Campo will tee it up at the 40.
Yeah, this really is a game of momentum. And right now, North riding high. They'll probably what we call a pooch kick again over to the side, and they do a little bit deeper and a low kick, which could turn into a decent return for South if he gets vertical, and he does.
Fielded at about the 25 and returned to the 35.
Good coverage there, though, on a low kick.
By number 45, and that is Anthony Agor, senior. Gets a touch here in the Turkey Bowl. Makes the most of it, and he gets a great field position for his offense. Question is, you're talking about momentum. The real way to surely keep it is get a defensive stop for the first
You
time.
need a stop here, whether it's a turnover on downs. It doesn't matter. You need a stop here if you're the North defense, and that'll go a long way because you'll enter the second quarter with the ball.
Easier said than done with this potent South offense. Holland throws it wide open, hit on the run. In stride is Brendan Frost. Frost is inside the 30.
So one of the things you'll see there, John, is if Holland stays in the pocket, the ball is being thrown in the middle of the field. When he rolls, he's throwing to the sideline. Right there, he stays in the pocket, and right in the middle of the field goes the receiver, and huge gain there for the Panthers on first down.
37-yard pass from Sean Holland. And it is a 1st and 10 at the 28. Holland straight drop, hit from behind as he throws it, and he was underthrown as a result. A good chance for the North to pick one off. Great pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah,
that
good
time.
pressure up front by the Titan defense, and you saw right there, Harris in the window. Looks like we have a holding call against that front, protecting the quarterback.
And it looks like Dante Lorende is going to accept the penalty. The head coach in North wants to push South back. Rather than 2nd and 10 from the 28, it'll be 1st and about 20 from the 38, I believe. Is it a 10-yarder?
Yeah, it should be a 10-yarder, and real estate is what Coach Lorende is looking for here.
Yeah. So if North can repeat that kind of pressure, that they have hope.
No question, no question. And it looked like they had the right coverage dialed in there too, because that ball almost picked off in the middle of the field. A little underthrown. It just went over the hands of Harris.
That pressure coming from the blind side for Holland as a right-handed quarterback. He will turn his back to the far sideline there. Throws to the left this time. Hit after the catch was Agor. Anthony with the reception at about the 35.
Yeah, Agor running a slant route there from the outside to the inside, and as a defensive back, you've got to maintain inside leverage on that receiver. Otherwise, they'll go right back to it.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8. And that ends the first quarter of play here in the 2017 Turkey Bowl. As you can see, your score, South 14 and North 7 as we go to the 2nd period. And the teams will switch sides. And you coached many games here at Stellos, and there's no real advantage either way.
No, it's
Yeah.
We've won games on both sides, and
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
lost games on both sides
Going
too.
left to right, right to left.
It doesn't matter. It's home, and
Yeah.
the kids know that. And you know what locker room you're in, what side you warm up in. You know, it doesn't really matter. You're at your home field, and you're playing against guys that you know really well. You might even have some classes with them because the schools go back and forth. Some of the classes offered at North aren't offered at South, and vice versa. So these kids all know each other real well, and a lot of them play against each other in basketball and track and field and other sports. So they all know each other. And it's great to see the alumni come back. As you were just speaking, the young man, Brandon Karkanis, who was our quarterback in those championship game runs in 2009, 2010, just walked by me. And it's nice to see what these guys are up to and how they've, they used football as a springboard, and now they're now in society making positive contributions in the workforce, doing great things. And that's really what this is all about. That's the great thing about Thanksgiving football is the alumni come back and you get to see how these kids are doing. I
remember saying young Master Karkanis' name there, Brendan Karkanis.
He was a good one, John.
He still looks young enough to be in high school to me.
He was a good one.
He was. He was a terrific player. Sean Holland will lead his offense on 2nd and 18 here. Straight drop.
Yeah.
Now he scrambles. Holland has lots of room. He is to the 10. He is in.
He ran out of bounds at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Yeah.
Let's see.
But again,
Holland,
real
great
good
decision.
Real good job, except for the fact nobody at the 2nd level wants Holland scrambles. And sometimes you have a spy. You see he runs out of bounds right there at about the 5 yard line, and it looked like bad leverage on with the spy on Holland, but turns nothing into something.
Yeah, so much for 2nd and 18. It's 1st and goal now.
When you have a dynamic quarterback, as South has had what seems like forever, they make those plays, and things that should be 5-6 yard losses or no gain turn into 40-yard runs.
One step drop. Holland fires over the middle, incomplete. The flag's going to come out.
They're gonna call pass interference here. I don't know if we can see it on replay or not, but he runs out. Here comes a little pick route there. No, a rub route.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just gave inside
right
leverage again. You cannot give the outside receiver inside leverage. You're gonna get beat every time, and it's the first thing you talk about.
Austin Willett on the coverage of Brendan Frost right there. Frost got inside of him, and it looked like the right arm spun Frost a little bit. Austin Willett was right in front of the official too.
It's an easy call. I mean, I was a defensive back, so I probably wouldn't have called it. But again, you look up top of your screen here, and you look at the alignment. Willett now backing up. You never want to back up on the goal line.
It is a quarterback sneak from yard out, and it's good for a touchdown for Sean Holland.
Yeah. So South answers right there with a big drive, big run by Holland, and he finishes it off to go in for the score.
Sean Holland, hey, he deserves to get a touchdown, you know.
He's he's earned it. He's earned it. He's been a part of some pretty good teams here, and
he's got the hold on this extra point.
His father, of course, Jerry Holland,
team trainer for many years. And the kick is partially blocked, it looked like.
I'm not sure if he got that ball down in time. It almost looked like he kicked it before he put it on the block.
So it's 6 points, not 7 for South on this trip down the field, but yet they have scored on their first 3 offensive possessions, and that's been the story of the 2017 Turkey Bowl to this point. Scoring their first 3 times they touched the ball, 20-7, and North's defense has yet to be able to solve Sean Holland and company.
I think the most frustrating thing, and again, having been a part of it sometimes with some of the players that we faced, you seem like you have everything drawn up just right, and then the one thing you can't account for sometimes is the great athleticism of somebody on the other team. You know, you have all of your lanes filled, you have somebody to account for the player should he break out. A play that should be a minimal gain or a loss turns into a huge run, and those are backbreakers sometimes because, you know, you practiced the last couple of weeks to stop those very things, and they still have success with them. So those are tough.
Right. You get an athlete like Sean Holland, and you get a field that's 52 yards wide, and he makes things happen. It's hard to cover every square inch. And there was a terrific run on 2nd and 18 to make it 1st and goal from the 5 was the key play of that drive.
And that kick right there for South's going to go out of bounds. It'll result in a penalty. We'll see if Dante Lorendi makes them kick the ball over or if North will just take possession. And right now it looks like they're just going to take the ball on the 35-yard line. So decent field position here, John, for the Titans as they start their next drive. And I think, again, you got to keep pace with this high-scoring offense of South. They've got 20 points here in the first quarter. You know, really, really the first quarter, 20 points. It didn't take long in the second quarter to get in. So North has to come away with some points here.
Lovelace is in the shotgun on 1st and 10. He's going to hand it off. Bouncing outside is Jenkins, but he is pulled down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss on the play. Terrific defense by South on the pursuit.
Yeah, it looked like Maldonado, number 44, was in there to serve as a lead blocker, and South had that play pretty well scouted, knew what to expect, and Jenkins goes for a loss. So
and you see 22 Tyler Bernard with the tackle of the play, flinging Jenkins down for a loss of 2.
Negative plays on 1st down is like the cardinal sin. You never want to go negative on 1st down.
2nd and 12 for Mike Lovelace and the Titans offense. The handoff. And that's going into a pile of purple. The ball is in the hands of John Champa right now, and no indication from the official that there was a fumble.
He ripped that ball right out of his hands, and they're just going to say 3rd down, Nashua North. So I think the Titans came away. They might have gotten a little bit lucky there, I think. Yeah.
Right.
It was a big scrum, and you never know when that ball left possession.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 12. No gain on the play, but no fumble either, fortunately for the Titans.
We talked about those alumni players standing down on the field. You can see them a little bit in the screenshot. They're all wearing their varsity jackets.
Lovelace with a 3-step drop. Is going to throw it. It's complete in the flat, but taken down is Montmany at the original line of scrimmage. Good defense by South. That was Alex Amigo on the coverage and the tackle. It'll be 4th down and 10, and a punt coming up for the Titans.
And another sign there that you just never want to go backwards on any down, but 1st down really throws a wrench into things, because that play on 1st down makes it a 2nd and 6, which is a manageable play. When you're going 2nd down and 12 or 13, it really changes the outlook of what you're going to call offensively.
Sam Nichols is punting for the Titans. Lets it go at about his own 25. Low kick bounces forward and rolls to the 40.
And South choosing to use only one return man deep there on that particular punt.
Tanner Floyd let it roll to a stop at 40 at the 40-yard line. Advantageous field position again for South on 1st and 10 with 9:35 to go in the first half of the 2017 Turkey Bowl here at Stellos Stadium.
So this really is a big series for both teams. North has to keep South from putting this thing in the end zone. And South really can put themselves in great position for the rest of this first half anyway if they can get 6 out of this.
3 out of 3 touchdowns on possessions, and we're trying to make it 4 out of 4 here as the handoff to Jalen Pacheco yields big yards on 1st down.
And he's a big, strong runner right up through the middle of that defense. And when he gets ahead of steam, when he doesn't get touched till he's 6 yards into the carry, you're in pretty big trouble. If your secondary is leading your team in tackles, it's going to be a long night.
Jalen Pacheco is the proverbial load, heavy load to bring down in the middle. And he swings it out to Amigo. He gets away from a tackler, and he's down the field. Anthony Agor with the reception. And nifty work after he hauled it in.
Looked like Campo threw it. I believe it was Campo threw a great block there. Not Campo, rather, Downing, rather, excuse me. Downing threw a great block. And
18, you can see it.
Again, the Titans have got to wrap up and tackle. They're letting these plays that should go for losses turn into huge plays for the Panthers. They have them.
So frustrating for the Titans defense. Near misses. 1st and 10. Downing's got it dancing through the middle. He's got about 5.
That's a design play by Downing there. They want to make it look like it's going to be a stretch outside, and then he ends up cutting it back up and in. That's a design run to the inside, and a good play on 1st down.
Knifing up the middle, and a call it a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 for the Panthers. Lots of time left here in the first half. And right now, South's offense showing no sign of being slowed down by the Titans defense. Straight drop for Holland, looking to his right. The check down receiver is Downing. Downing has maybe the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, and no gain on the play.
And that's a win for the Titans, and I'll tell you why. Downing in space is a huge threat. He proved to be all year long, and that particular play, the Titans rallied up. They covered the deep routes really well. Holland went to his check down and Downing to the right side, and the Titans were up to the challenge. Minimal gain, if any.
Tough task here for the Titans to try to deny South 5 yards to get the 1st down with Holland back there. But Holland pulls it down, and he's going to get dragged down just inside the 30. It's probably going to be 4th and 1 here.
It's going to come down to the spot.
It's going to come down to the spot. You're right. They might have given it to him. They might have awarded him the yardage earned. Some football officials prefer it.
Now Holland, again, one of his strengths, and we've seen it all year, is Agor thinks they have enough for the 1st down.
I think we're going to see our first measurement.
But Holland rolling to his left all year, that has been a staple for them. And
they're just going to
looks like they're giving him the 1st down. Yeah, 1st and 10, no measurements. So looks like the home team gets the benefit of that one tonight.
Right. Clock running now. It's at the 7-minute mark remaining in the first half. The South drive still alive here, trying to go 4 for 4 in offensive possessions.
Should have been a holding call there on the Panthers, and it wasn't. Downing still trying to gain more yardage. He does.
Downing slips down the sideline.
We can watch that play
delivers
right there, John.
a blow.
Watch the replay. You'll see one Nashua North player. It looked like a hold there in the interior. Yeah, definitely tackled him.
Yeah,
but right here, you'll watch here as 2 North players knock each other off of the tackle. Yeah, you can't see it now as we go back live.
Those extra long plays.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
The replay going.
You're holding on to the ankle and waiting for the cavalry to come, and they never show.
Yeah, but you're right. That seemed to beg for a flag.
I would have thought.
Instead, it's 1st and 10 for South, the offense who really doesn't need any help. And they got a great run after the catch by Derek Downing.
Yeah, Downing with great second effort there.
Ball to 14. Jared Holland, straight drop, looking to his left, fires. It is complete at the 1. Alex Amigo with a nice grab right off the top of the turf.
Watch the replay here again. got inside positioning on the defender, Harris, and makes a great catch, 1st and goal at the 1.
Alex Amigo doing his Julian Edelman impression. Jalen Pacheco for the touchdown up the middle. It's a 1-yard carry. Jalen Pacheco getting onto the score sheet along with Alex Amigo, Derek Downing, and Sean Holland before him. A couple of touchdowns passing, a couple of 1-yard plunges, and it is a 4-touchdown game so far for the South offense, a 3-touchdown lead.
Yeah, and what you can see the South offense doing well is spreading the ball around the field. Everybody that's a weapon for South is touching the ball. You can't key on any one guy.
That's a problem.
Coach Knight and his offensive staff have done a real nice job as they go for 2 here, set up in a power I formation. It's going to be play action.
Holland with the ball on his hip has a couple of options. It's tipped and it's
They're going to
caught.
say you're going to say he caught it.
It's a good conversion.
You're going to see the ball get tipped here on the play action fake as he rolls out. There's a backside drag coming from probably the backside tight end, and there he shows up into the picture. And that was actually 21. Yep. That was John Ciampa there.
John Ciampa with the reception for a 2-point conversion. So after the missed extra point the last time they scored, they've evened it back off to an average of 7 points, 28-7. As Sean Holland has had huge success here, and I want to give him some credit because the 1 month layoff, he hasn't.
It's been I think 2.5 weeks for the Panthers and 3.5 weeks for the Titans. So a long time to wait and play this game, but you know, these two teams have persevered, and they've done some things in the interim. They've done some weight training, they've done some testing in the weight room, they've done some team building activities, exit interviews, all the things that you try and get done when the season ends, and they've used these last couple of weeks, I'm sure, to take care of that business. And right now, if you're Nashua North, you're thinking to yourself, boy, we really have to do something here before halftime.
Yeah, they'll have a chance here in the run back by Austin Willett. He gets dragged down at about the 31-yard line.
Nice return, nice return there by Willett, and he has the afterburners. If he gets into the open field, he can make things really interesting. So pretty important for the Panthers to get him on that 2nd attempt.
Titans still have some time to work with here with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Been able to move the ball pretty well on offense, not nearly as well as South has, of course, but they have the designs on scoring their 2nd touchdown of the game before the end of this first half. Willett open.
A nice 1-step drop there. Nice play to Willett, a little extra jawing going back and forth between the players on the sideline there, but they're going to give some cushion here. They don't want to get beat deep, so they're going to give up those, you know, those we call them now routes to the outside and try and keep everything in front of them.
There was a job audition there for Alex Shoes by Alex Amigo. He's trying to rip the shoe off of Austin Willett.
There you go.
And he didn't appreciate that, but no blows exchanged. So it's that was good enough for
first down.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 41.
South at this point will give those up. They'll give up, you know, a 10-yard gain. They don't want to do is give the home run.
And that's another example of the Purple Panthers defense swallowing up the North rusher, running back. It's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Well, it was R.J. Jenkins on the carry. But this is, I can tell you guys, from experience, it's not exactly bombing.
No, huh?
However, friendly confines of the Stellos press box, it feels great up here.
Yeah, it does, and it feels great down there for South right now. They're dominating. They can do anything they want offensively.
You know, I think the most frustrating thing, Tom, and we spoke about this a little bit, is that there are times when North has them dead to rights, and they make something out of nothing.
Yeah, the tackling is, you know, Derek Downing, somebody's got him by the ankle, and he carries him for 5 yards, and he gets loose.
Right, and they knock each other off the tackle.
Right,
it's,
defensively, North had issues, I thought, in the latter part of the season, the last third of the season.
Sometimes not having a game in 3+ weeks too, you really can't duplicate the speed in a practice, and you know, you're not fresh necessarily in that regard. As they're going to take a shot at it right here.
He had Montmany open.
Yeah.
And just overthrew him.
Yeah, the matchup they wanted too. He was matched up one-on-one with a linebacker.
Linebacker, right, exactly. I saw that too, yeah, exactly. But Montminy he's Duro, he's a prototype football player.
And Coach Lorendi has said he's probably, their best football player,
yes.
pure football player on the team. And, unfortunately for North, they're going to have to punt this one away and give a boatload of time and the ball back to Sean Holland and company.
No kidding.
So punting situation for the Titans.
And they're going to fake this one.
They fake it. And they
he's
got a first down.
Nothing to
Rumbling
lose.
up the field.
Great
what
job.
A play.
Maldonado, right?
Maldonado gets the direct snap.
And I'll tell you, pretty well blocked right there.
How about that?
Nice block there by Willette.
Just got tripped up. Terrific play call and execution. Kevin Maldonado, the junior, listed as a running back and a defensive lineman, a combination that you rarely see.
Last time I saw it was a player named John Leon Goslin. Who was
you put that running back, you make it an FB. It's a fullback. That's what
it is. Yeah, that's a good point. Loveless slings
there you
one.
go.
It is completed.
Harris.
Wow, that reminded me of the Phillip Rivers throwing motion right there.
Yeah, gunslinging type.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it looks like. The result is what we're looking
Exactly,
for. And Harris catches it for a great gain on first down. And I'll tell you right there, we said this, John, you've got to have positive plays on first down. Second and short, and again, your play opportunities from 2nd and 1 are limitless. If you're the defense for South, you've got to think, you know what, they might not just go for the first down. They might take a shot here, so they might loosen up a little bit on the perimeter.
And that is a great look at 2nd and 1, right down the line of scrimmage here on NashuaETV. It is a direct snap. It's a Wildcat. It is a first down on the carry. Curtis Harris took the snap and got the yardage needed for the first down.
You want the ball in Harris's hands as much as you can get it because he can do some things. He's very good defensively, too. He's got the speed to stay with receivers.
Yeah, North with the almost an inverted wishbone look with two lead blockers, no quarterback. So definitely a Wildcat formation with Harrison. We'll have to see if they have anything off of this play. They used this a little bit last year against South with Goslin in the backfield. And let's see if they have anything dialed in. It's going to be another
Harris.
run. I'll tell you right there, if you can watch
Harris
that replay,
breaks it to the
he's
outside,
go.
and he is going to go to the cone.
Touchdown.
In for the touchdown, Curtis Harris.
If you watch this replay, watch him set his block up. He's going to get a great block on the edge.
And a missed tackle
and a
right
missed
there.
tackle, and he just reads his block perfectly, runs off the back of his blockers and out.
What
races.
a play.
You cannot miss when you have a chance to bring him down, because if you do, then you break him into the secondary and he's going to outrun everybody.
Yeah, just an athletic young man and read his blocks very well. And
are you sure he's a freshman?
Yeah, I am. I have him.
Wow.
I have him in class.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
He is.
Yeah,
nice young man as well. And you know, you're going to look back at that
Turkey Bowl. He leaves an exclamation point of a highlight there.
Extra point is good.
It's 7 more for the Titans, and we're still got a ball game here, folks. 28-14.
It all depends.
With 3:36 to go first half.
It just all depends. It's going to come down to how well North can play defensively.
Well, you're going to need to get a turnover or two here, because you know the self-inflicted wounds are what really did South in against that Pinkerton team a couple of weeks ago. They turned the ball over how many times, Tom? 5, 6 times anyway. And in the worst possible places to do it. In the worst possible places to do it. And so, if you can get a turnover here, you know, maybe you can go in only down 1 score. That fake punt. A huge play for the Titans. They're not going to hold anything back because there is no tomorrow. So you might see an onside kick here. You never know what you're going to get. Why not?
The key play of that drive, of course, the fake punt. That was just a terrific run, of course, to finish it by Harris, but he would not have had the opportunity. It was not for the fake punt and the first down carry off the fake punt by Maldonado.
You've got nothing to lose on either side of this game. You know, this is the kind of game where you want to do those fun kinds of things to make your team engaged in the football game.
Kevin Maldonado.
Short kick. Let's see if he breaks down. See,
look at that.
Could be trouble.
Yep, overran the play.
The problem there, Tom, and it's the thing you work on in practice all the time, is you run down and you buzz your feet. this young man just keeps running.
Yeah.
So the return man only has to take one step and he's by him. You've got to buzz your feet when you're within 3 or 4 yards.
You mean like stutter steps?
Just chop your steps and look at the waist.
Instead, he ran right
You
by
can't
him.
do it. You just can't do it.
Overran the play.
So good field position here for South as they set up shop just shy of the 50.
Yeah, terrific field position.
And a ton of time here.
Yeah, especially for this spot on the field. Holland has a 44-yard touchdown pass under his belt in this game, so you can get an idea just how quickly he could strike. He throws it, it's complete. Agor at the 10, the 5, touchdown for the Panthers just that quickly. A 53-yard touchdown pass from Sean Holland to Anthony Agor.
There it is. What you're going to see right there is Holland again stays in the pocket and up the middle of the field.
The seam.
They found something in that North defense that just, it's a weakness. For whatever reason, South is exploiting the middle of that Titan secondary, and these guys are running wide open.
Well, that touchdown drive lasted like
10 seconds. They have beaten them down the middle with that pass over and over again.
Yeah, and they did it again.
Yep.
Silver lining, and North's going to get the ball back anyway.
Well, you know,
wow.
The alliteration theme again, Jason.
Yes,
Anthony
exactly
Agor,
right,
Alex Amigo, Derek Downing.
Yep.
3 touchdown passes, 3 double initials. And we have a dominant performance.
You know, one of the things that
Sean
Coach
Holland
Knight likes to do too is really let his seniors go out the right way and give everybody, sprinkle the infield, as they say in baseball, and everybody's getting a turn at it here. So, you know, North feeling pretty good after that touchdown run, rightfully so, and with new life, and South just comes with a dagger and hits it down the middle. And you know, one of the things that we talked about was all year long, Holland has done such a great job of rolling out, to his left-hand side, and what he's doing here tonight is, you know what, he's staying in the pocket. North brought 5, and all 5 were blocked, and Holland just stood there tall in the pocket and drilled it to Agor down the middle.
South kick is fielded at the 15-yard line by Ryan Ali. Ali finds a seam. He's got one man to beat, spins away, and to the turf just shy of midfield. Ryan Ali, great return.
Ali, again, showing youth is well served here with this Titan team. Makes a nice spin move there, and a great return for the Titans. So
that's Josh Martin, the kicker, that got just enough of him.
And if not for Martin, he'd still be running.
Exactly.
So it seemed like we said, there's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this half.
My goodness, this is
more
going to be
scores.
This kind of offense.
I hope you bet the over.
Yeah. Depending on what that was, I mean, a savvy odd setter might have made it 75 or something like that.
Yep.
And even then, it's attainable. So Mike Lovelace is in the shotgun with R.J. Jenkins standing next to him. And he's going to look to his left. He's got some time, but now he's under pressure.
Oh, look at
Dancing
this.
around. Lovelace still has it, and he's going to be dragged down from behind for a loss, a sack of about 3
Tell you
yards.
what, Chicago Mike can move. He can move.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a loss for the Titans. And again, we talked about, John, you can't take losses on first down.
Yeah, now, what was his option there, Jason? Throw the ball to the sideline?
Well, I'm looking right now, and it looked like Roulette was standing uncovered in the shallow area. It looked like it was a pump and go of some sort. I didn't see the replay, but it looked like he had him open. But at some point, you've just got to swallow it and go. And, again, South running their lanes pretty well. Willing to give up the underneath stuff, but not the deep stuff.
3rd and 13. Lovelace shotgun. One-step drop. Fires it to Roulette. He dropped it.
Yep, turn to run before he had the football.
And usually Roulette very sure-handed. Looked like he, was trying to make a move up the field before catching the ball. And again, I'll say this to you: if you run that play on first down, now it's 2nd and 5. If you make that catch, because if Roulette catches that ball, it's still going to be 3rd and 10.
With all their receivers, the urgency now is starting to set in a little bit.
Right.
They're trying to make plays.
Right.
And maybe trying too hard to make plays like Roulette was right there.
So it'll bring up a 3rd and 14. They call it. They'll whistle before the snap. We have an equipment issue with Austin Roulette. He's got to go off.
It looks like maybe a cut on his shoulder or his arm.
Not the guy you want to see go off.
No,
that's
if it's an equipment issue, that's That's a very expensive equipment issue right there, because it takes your best receiver off the
Yeah,
field.
he's got a cut on his elbow of some sort, so trainer will have to wrap it up there.
I guess this is not my 1975 Sports Illustrated cover anymore, because everybody used to be bleeding back then, and they'd be in the game. And there's new rules. There's new rules in 2017. Safety
is a big issue, and certainly that's one of those things.
Health and safety.
And it looks like North's going to call a timeout. So maybe
to try to get him taped up and get him back on the field. You know that play was going to him.
Right.
3rd and 14. You know that play was.
You
going
showed your
to him.
hand now, didn't you?
Yeah. You sure did.
Now he gets triple covered.
Yeah,
he was being double covered.
Exactly right. And I'm sure that's what the Panthers defense is talking about right now. As you look at the.
We should just say it a little louder so Zabolis can hear us down the other side of the
I'm sure he knows as well.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be told. As we look at the high school Wednesday night color rush uniforms.
Yeah, exactly
North
right.
and for
Exactly
South.
right.
Yeah, all white and dark blue.
I got my color rush.
Purple.
Really?
Yeah.
I got blue underneath. So
you see Scott Knight
I got
there
my
with the
warm-
glasses
I
on,
got
the
my
Clark
color-
Kent
Oh,
look.
right, yeah.
Clark Kent look.
Yeah,
going
what's
on.
with those?
I think I borrowed his
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
I think I always have his backup pair right here. Good look at the center right there, number 66 for the Titans, doing all the shotgun snaps and doing a good job of it is Harley Chiardi, who's a junior. He'll be back next season. So he hikes the ball to Mike Lover, straight drop, 3 steps. He steps up, flushed out of the pocket, under pressure. He's going to be pulled down, and was it a clean tackle? Clean enough. No flag. Is a sack on the play. It's going to be a 4th down and long.
Yeah, it looked like things were pretty well covered up the field for the Panthers in great coverage. And
looked like Aaron Kennedy, number 75. Oh, we do have
got a hold on. Well, there you go. Maybe that's why it was so well covered. It was a hold.
A hold on the play.
defensive hold.
There you go.
Titans are clapping.
You know what? It might not be enough for a 1st down. Depends on where the spot
It's not
is.
automatic in high school, right?
Right. I mean, is it a spot foul still?
It's not a spot foul. It's
No.
a 5-yard penalty, I think, right?
On
it'll be
defense, I
10.
think it might be 10, yeah.
On defense, it's 10 in high school. Wow, it's interesting. It's only 5 in the pros, but it's an automatic first.
In the pros, it's an automatic first
Right. So
down,
high
but it
school
won't
is
be
10
here.
yards. In high school,
Correct.
it's 10 yards even on the defense. But this won't be a first down. This will take them all the way to the 49. They'll have to get to the 42-yard line for first.
But they do get another shot at it.
Right, and so the big thing there, again, you can't go negative on first down. You've got to have positive plays on first down. So Titans obviously looks like they're going to go for it here. Try to get this back within a 2-score game if they can before the half. Jenkins is going to leave the game. And in comes Harris.
They've bottled Jenkins up tonight. He has not been able to get free.
Balls at the 49. They need to get to the 42.
42 just out. Yeah.
3rd and 7. And Loveless is in the shotgun with their receivers left and right, looking to throw to his left. He's rolling that way anyway. Throws back toward the middle, and a nice grab for a completed pass and a 1st down for the Titans.
We'll watch here on replay. He has to reach back across his body.
Not an easy pass to complete. Under pressure. Great grab.
We don't know who that is.
That was number.
It was in the 80s. I think that was Matt
Wall.
Who got the touchdown pass
Wall has
earlier.
a touchdown catch earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Reached
great
back
hands.
across his body. Made a
Number
great
80.
play. Oh, it's 80. There you go.
Matt Wall.
It's Wall.
Yep. And Wall gets the handoff here. They're going to stay with the hot hand, but he gets only gained about 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
So the thing you have to do here is score, and again, don't give the ball back to South because we've seen they can do things in very
you want
limited
to keep
time.
the ball for the final 120.
Yeah,
You
absolutely
got
right.
1:15 now left in the first half.
Another thing about that play that was so good by Loveless is that he was just about to get hit by Derek Chiavelli, the senior captain defensive lineman, was going in for the sack. Loveless is going to step up and throw it deep down the field.
Picked
it's
off.
underthrown. And playing the role of defensive back that
And you know
time.
what? Amigo.
Willett had to break that up.
Amigo should have had that ball, I thought.
It was in his hands, and just as he's hauling it in, Willett tackles him. You'll see right here on the replay.
Watch, yep.
Takes out the back of his legs just as Amigo's reeling it in.
Yep, the impact did it.
So you're going to have 3rd and long here for the Titans, but that won't matter as they're in 4-down territory.
With 58 seconds, 58.1 seconds left.
Yeah, the time has slipped down here. Under a minute to go in the first half. The Titans desperately trying to keep pace with the South offense. No easy task. They've got to come up with something big here on 3rd or 4th down. Loveless, straight drop. Looking down the middle, throws it up for grabs. It's going to be picked off.
That one's intercepted.
South's number 17, Tanner Clord, in the safety position. Dancing around some tacklers, brings it back to the 32-yard line, and the Titans drive fizzles out via the turnover. Interception by Tanner Clord.
The thing that South did there, John, is they only brought 4, which means they dropped 7 into coverage. And, you know, Clord just playing center field there and was able to make the interception. So not what you wanted to see happen if you're the Titan offense. You want one more crack at it before the half. And just as we said, there's 45.2 seconds left here in the first half, and plenty of time for South to get back on the board once again. We'll see what South has dialed up here as North definitely playing some soft coverage in the secondary.
As we look right down the line of scrimmage, and Sean Holland rolls toward your screen. He's got some room to run near the sideline. Out of bounds after a first down plus about 5.
Yeah, you're looking at about a 13 or 14-yard gain there, and first down, clock stop. South's on the move again.
We're spotted at the 46-yard line of South. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. 36 seconds to go. We saw a touchdown pass from just about this spot on the field from Sean Holland to Anthony Agor. And Agor's not going to go the post pattern this time. He's firing it over the middle, off the hands, and
intercepted.
Did he catch it?
No, dropped
could not
it.
hold
Wow.
on.
Nice
You
effort.
know, that would have been a better play had they just run the seam right away.
Yeah.
Quick slant would have been a better play that way. Instead, that took too long to develop. Holland steps up, and you could tell he had so much energy he was going to overthrow that pass.
Well, the other thing, too, is that the coverage is different. They're playing, we used to call it our queens. Look, we had 4 guys 10 yards off the ball across the field in quarters coverage. And
Which they should.
Which they should, right.
Right.
So, but again, 29.7 seconds to go here in the first half.
Panthers trying to make the most of this half-minute possession here at the end of the first half. Holland drops straight back, looking down the field for an open receiver.
He's
got
got
somebody
one
wide
by
open,
himself.
and it's Alex Amigo who is
He's going
inside the
in.
10. Touchdown for the Panthers.
Wow.
How did he get so open so late in the first half?
Well, if you notice, that was the motion man, and they wanted to see what kind of, and he just ran what we call a wheel route, and nobody went with him.
Missed coverage. Ryan Lee trying to make up for lost time, but the stiff arm by Amigo.
54-yard TD.
Wow, he outdid himself again. He had a 44, a 53, and now a 54-yard touchdown pass. As we go for the point after, score stands now at 41-14. South trying to make it 42-14.
And as we said, with 35 seconds left, you know what they're going to try and do. You just have to make sure you cover it. And pretty frustrating if you're in the secondary, I imagine, for Nashua North. You know, you have a lot of real estate to cover, and you have 4 guys back there. And
on just 2 receptions, Alex Amigo has 2 touchdowns and 54 and 44 is what? Is
98 yards.
Worth
99
receptions.
yards,
Yeah.
That's pretty good average. Pretty good average, yards after catch, yards per catch. Any way you
19
slice it.
seconds to go, first half. There is your score. The extra point was missed. 41-14. South with a commanding lead here in the 2017 Turkey Bowl.
I think right now, if you're the Titans, and we've all been there as coaches, you've got to keep your kids focused. You've got to tell your kids, look, we've got another half of football to play here. We've got to go out the right way. These are things that you know, you think about it. It's mental breakdowns. It's you know, sometimes not doing your job. You got to stay focused.
And you know, I want to say before we go in the last 19 seconds here, a lot of these fans that come out here, they want to see good football, but they also come out to see their sons and daughters in the bands. Both bands will be in action here at halftime. A ton of practice and preparation and anticipation has gone into this halftime show that you'll be seeing live here
and a lot
on
of pride,
NashuaETV.
and a lot of pride in both these music programs, as well as I know the Nashua North band is trying to get a $500 grant currently, and they do a lot of good things for the school, and they're a great group of kids. I have a lot of them in my classes, and the phys ed classes at North as that return goes to about the 30-yard line. It's you know, when they asked me when we started this program back in 2004 what makes a successful program, my answer was, and I'll never forget this, was you've got a group of spirit, of cheerleaders on the field, you've got a band, you've got booster clubs, you've got parents that are running concessions and things of that nature, and you've got a group of young men that come out and play, and that's before you've even stepped inside the lines. You have all these other things going on. That's the sign of a good, successful program, and both of these schools should be very proud of the young men and women that play in the bands, as North will just take a knee and go into the half.
So that will be your score at halftime here at the 2017 Turkey Bowl. South leading 41-14. North's not going to go away, though. They're going to try to score 2, 3, 4 more times in this one before it's over.
You know, there is no tomorrow. They're going to empty the bag of tricks. You'll see some trick plays. You'll see some things where the kids are going to go out and have some fun. Right now, they're a little bit down in the dumps, but they'll regroup. I'm sure they still have some tricks up their sleeve that they'll bring out in the second half, and they'll want to finish this thing off the right way.
That's Jason Roby with Tom King. I'm John Collins. We're going to turn it over to Pete Johnson and his great camera crew here at halftime for the sights and sounds of the Turkey Bowl 2017 halftime show here on NashuaETV.
Now entering the field is the Nashua High School North Titan Marching Band and Color Guard under the direction of Kristen Olson. The band director is Elizabeth Nault. Visual design is by Carrie Swift. Drill instructors are Kevin Swift and Elizabeth Nault. Color guard instructors are Nancy Forty and Wendy Sullivan. And drumline instructor is Charles Davis. On the field, the Titans are directed by drum majors Missy Lavoie, Braden Smith, and Jaylene Velasquez. The Nashua North Marching Band and Color Guard is dedicating its 2017 show, North Shore, to the memory of Jacob Goulet, and includes Surfing USA, Rock Lobster, Soak Up the Sun, and Umbrella Beach. Enjoy the show.
Casey hat. This is good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nashua High School North Titan Marching Band and Color Guard. And ladies and gentlemen, now entering onto the field is the Nashua High School South Panther Marching Band and Color Guard. The Panthers are under the direction of drum majors Chelsea Columbus and Ben Talarski and Color Guard Captain Brenna Deliano. Assistant directors are Natalie Spots and Tom Souza. Percussion instructor is Charles Davis, assisted by Tim Morrow. The visual designer is Tom Sousa. And the band director for the Nashua South Band is Tony Coronas. The Nashua South Panther Marching Band and Color Guard presents its 2017 Fall Show. A rockin' good time featuring Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry, I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett, Talking Out of the Side of Your Neck by Cameo, and Shout It Out Loud by Kiss. The Nashua South Band thanks you for being such a supportive audience throughout the season and wishes everyone a restful and happy Thanksgiving. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nashua High School South Panther Marching Band and Color Guard. Give them a big hand, folks.
Second half action just ahead here on NashuaETV of the 2017 Turkey Bowl. Great job by the bands from both schools at halftime and by the NashuaETV camera crew covering the players on the field. And we're glad to bring it to you. The 41-14 score as we begin the second half. South in command of this game, and we're talking with Jason Roby at halftime, the longtime North coach. They will have running time, even though it's the Turkey Bowl, you were saying.
Yeah, I believe so. If they get to that point, they would do that.
If it happens that they are a 35-point lead.
And I'm certain that, you know, at halftime, Coach Loren and his staff went in and said, look, guys, you know, we have a half left of football to play here. For many of you, it'll be the last time you ever play football. You want to make sure you go out there and give your best effort. And, you know, each down has its own victory, and so they have to try and win that down and not look at it, you know, the whole half as one thing, but each play individually. And if they do that, I think they can come away with some victories here. And certainly they've shown the ability to move the football at times, and they've shown the ability to be in the right places. Now they just have to make those plays and make those stops. And if they can do that, you know, they can keep this thing hopefully close. South obviously running on all cylinders right now, a team that is you can run the ball, can pass the ball, can beat you in a number of different ways, and they've shown the ability to do this all year. And we talked earlier, John, about they've lost to two teams this year, Salem and Pinkerton. Salem once and Pinkerton twice. And other than that, they've run the table on everybody else. So this is obviously a very well-oiled machine here in Nashua South, and you know, Coach Knight has to be real pleased with what he's seen thus far from his kids.
Right. Of course, they play the game, the Turkey Bowl game, on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving now. And we also go into Turkey Bowl replay mode on NashuaETV's channel 99 at this time of the year. Starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, we have America's Hometown Thanksgiving Parade, followed by football, Turkey Bowls, and a lot of them at noontime. It's the 2004 Turkey Bowl, which we have new for the first time on NashuaETV, courtesy of TV 13. They covered the 2004 Turkey Bowl.
Yeah,
and you had a
I
role
did
in
it.
I
did
it.
I
You
did
did the game.
play-by-play with Billy Hardy.
Okay.
Yep. And it was a great game, and it was the first one, which was, you know, which was pretty memorable for us, because it was the first time that North and South were going to be playing on Thanksgiving. And it was as we talked about earlier, a great game for us at North. We won the game 33-14, but
and you can see it on Thanksgiving Day at noontime,
which is a great thing. And I'll tell you the irony behind that. We have to thank Billy Munson, who is the offensive coordinator for South, but who played for me at North in 2004 as a fullback. And we were talking, and Billy's teaches over at South, and I said, hey, do you happen to have a copy of it?
No.
And he said, no. He said, yeah, I have a copy, but it's on VHS.
Oh.
And so in talking to Pete, I said, hey, if we get this, is there anything you could do? And he burned us a couple of DVDs, and, you know, through as good luck would have it, now it's going to be able to be seen on NashuaETV, so we're happy about that.
Sean Holland, and I guarantee you the quarterback in that game didn't do this, I don't think.
What did he do?
12 of 15 for 273 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half.
And those are deep balls, and yeah, you're right,
4
Tom.
touchdowns passing and 1 rushing.
Pretty impressive.
Right.
I'll do the rushing
Holland
in a second.
Okay.
Well, to piggyback on what Tom said, we didn't throw the ball once in that game.
What?
And we scored 33 points. That's correct. Yep.
I
As
guess
Billy
you had-
Hardy said, we set football back about 50 years in that game. So we start the second
no
half
passing
here.
at all.
Not one
That's
throw.
Amazing. The kickoff to open the second half of the 2017 Turkey Bowls, fielded by Austin Willett, makes his way toward the far sideline and out of bounds just beyond the 30. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Titans, who have a sense of urgency about them as they go on offense here in the second half, trying to score and avoid running time.
And rushing, Holland is 9 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown.
And
So
Sean
he
is
has,
Have a half.
He has, in that half, 356 yards of offense. in that half. 356 yards. That's a way to go out.
It's been the story of the big play. It's been the story of the big play for Nashua South too. These are huge plays for the Panthers offensively as North sets up shop at about their own 32-yard line here on first down.
Mike Lovelace and the North offense, 1st and 10. It's a direct snap to
That's Harris, actually. Yeah, they're in their Wildcat formation.
Yeah, that's what they do with Harris with the Wildcat. Yep. They've done it already this game.
Yeah, Lovelace turned into a lead blocker on that, or one of the blockers. And,
Jason, how long do you play? You know, you don't want to.
Well, you play your guys. There is no tomorrow. You're not saving them for anything.
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously the basketball coach, the track coach, the hockey coach might think differently, but this is your last game, and so you play your guys. And I'm sure everybody will get an opportunity, though, looking at the sideline.
Harris to the right, blocking by Maldonado, and he gets maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, I tried to set up his blocks there and was real patient, but nothing really developed the way he had hoped, so it'll be 3rd down and long for the Titans.
Excellent defense by the Panthers on the first 2 running plays by North to open the second half. As you look at Harris, who's slotted out to the left. Lovelace with a straight drop, looking straight down the field, has some
Lots of time.
Now being flushed out, throws it up for grabs down the sideline over the head of Montmany. Incomplete.
Yeah, that ball was out of bounds from the get-go on the throw, and very well covered. They run what we call a mesh route there, where they have some crossers over the middle, and South ready for it, and they had him covered deep as well. So pretty well versed in what North is trying to do here as the South defense, and that'll set up a 4th and long. The Titans will have to punt it away. Not the way you wanted to start your first possession of the second half here if you're Nashua North.
No, reminiscent of the first half, first possession, North went 3 and out. Then also the punt will come down just beyond midfield. This is about a fair catch there inside the 40.
Yeah, number 17 there for the Panthers did a good job waving his arm in the fair catch. Was Tanner Plood, the junior, and South to set up shop just shy of their own 40.
In addition to the noontime 2004 Turkey Bowl game, we're going to roll out in the same day on Thanksgiving Day and night tomorrow the 2005, 2006, 7, and 2008 Turkey Bowls. There's going to be 5 of them played through midnight on Thanksgiving Day, so you can get saturated with the 08s.
A lot of North-South football to be seen for sure.
It will continue on Friday and Saturday right up until the 2017 Turkey Bowl gets replayed 9 p.m. Saturday night. Long pass overthrown.
There was
Good
that
coverage.
wheel route again that South tried to run against the Titan defense. They were ready for it. Back in coverage there for the Titans was number 7, Jaden Espinal.
I mean, if they want to get this thing in running time, then that's seam pass. Jason, seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, and I think that's what you saw right there. They're trying to get this thing moving, and they're not doing anything that they haven't already done. So it's not like they're reaching into their bag of tricks. This is their offense.
Yeah, that was Jaden Espinal on the
Another
coverage
freshman
that
there, I
time.
might add, for Nashua North. So the future again bright for the Titans.
Downing doing his dance outside, gets close to first down. Yardage will depend on the spot where he went out of bounds. Actually went out of bounds about 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
Downing picked up a pretty good block there by his teammate Alex Amigo on the perimeter there, who blocked Espinal out of the picture, allowing Downing to get a pretty sizable gain there for the Panthers.
3rd and 2, Sean Holland in the shotgun. One of the North players jumps off, and that's going to give South an automatic first down.
And that's just, that's game awareness. North's been pretty good about it all game long, but anytime you get into a situation where it's 3rd and less than 5, you know your opponent's going to try to get you to jump off sides.
Yeah, they're anxious. They want to make a stop. They haven't stopped them once. South scored on every possession they've had in this football game.
So 1st and 10 now for the Panthers as Holland gets the play from the sideline into North territory.
Hands in the hand warmer there just before the snap, back in the shotgun. Good
Shovel
look at
option.
Yep, shovel option play, and it was a hard hit on the sideline.
Yeah.
And that's number 30 for South on the running play here. Jared Buren administers the blow, Jason.
Yeah, and he took a run right at looked like Brian Montmany, number 27, and I'm going to tell you right now, Brian Montmany's no slouch. He's a big, strong kid. So
yeah, he got a little bit too low with the face mask up there, I think, and he took the brunt of that.
You got to minimize the gain and come downhill. And speaking of coming downhill, here comes Barron again. Pretty sizable gain on second and short.
About 10 plus, and it's another first down for South as they continue to be unstoppable on offense.
Well, anytime, and we said this earlier, anytime your secondary is leading your team in tackles, that's not a good sign.
No, never is. You want your linebackers and your defensive ends to make those plays.
First and 10 to play with here for the South offense.
Motion to empty.
Buren's in motion to the right. Straight drop. Holland looks around, tries to scramble away. Still picked up about 5 on first down.
It looked like they wanted to get Tavon Olson over the middle, but Olson was a little slow in getting there, and Holland couldn't wait, so he ends up running the football.
Yeah, and the Titans did a pretty good job again of staying in their lanes and trying to collapse that pocket, and it looked like the coverage was a little bit better than it's been.
But in 2 halves of football, Jason, the second half of the previous meeting and the first half of this, they have not been able to contain Sean Holland.
And you can't play the first half over, so you just got to be forward thinking at this point.
Yep.
Oh,
Buren escapes the tackler in the backfield, and he's off to the races. Right hash mark inside the 10.
And if you watch this replay here, John, they had him a tackle for loss. You see the defensive lineman right there, Maldonado.
Yep.
If he bends down that line of scrimmage a little bit more, it's a tackle for loss. Instead, Buren goes for a large chunk. First and goal for the Panthers inside the Titan 10.
Well, you're right. Another almost for the Titan defense instead of big gain for the South
Ball's
offense.
at about the 8. North almost jumped again.
It's like the left guard's going to pull or go into pass protection unless Holland has changed the play. Yeah, he's pulling. There you go.
Fakes the pitch, and he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Good play right there. Again, for Nashua North, number 12 was Steve Larkin, defensive end position. You see the guard from the left side pull and try and lead that play up the middle there. Well played by Larkin.
Solid tackle by number 12 in the white jersey. Second and goal from the 8. Holland faked the pitch that time. Let's see if he throws this one.
Got to win this down.
He hands this one off, and
Buren's second effort, John, excuse me, I'm sorry, but Buren in his second effort just pulling tacklers with him.
Now, he's had a good series. He had a 16-yard run earlier and a 12-yard run in this drive. So this is
has he scored yet, Tom?
No.
So
Pacheco
you know
has. He's going to get the ball.
Who do you think's getting the ball here?
He's definitely getting the ball.
It's definitely something to, unless
on number 30.
Unless Holland sees something that he likes on the pull, we'll see what he does here. But my money would be on Buren. Let him finish the drive.
Let's see if you're right.
Yeah,
Hand off, Buren, touchdown.
Yep, there you go.
Watch the replay here if we can. And Buren kind of just walks in.
We got a replay of the stands.
We got a Hawaiian theme night here.
But that was predictable.
Yeah, I mean, and again, easy to see from here. But
9 plays, 61 yards.
And now it's going to be a
48,
34 point
30,
with this.
33, 34 if they make it.
48-14 would be a 34-point lead. So if they
This is
score,
good.
if they hold North and score one more time,
You'd have running time, yeah.
you get running time.
So here's the replay again with Holland, and it looks like they're just running if you watch up front, they just stalemate the D-line. And
wow, there's opportunity there.
Yeah, I mean, it was
for a tackle in the back.
It was another opportunity missed, really.
Yeah.
And you go back to a few plays prior to that one when Maldonado had Buren in the backfield, and he ran through a tackle and picked up a sizable gain. You just got to finish on those opportunities because they don't always present themselves, and when they do, you have to take advantage.
We have yet to see a kickoff return for a touchdown in this game. The reason I say that is there's a lot of kickoffs, a lot of opportunities.
A lot of opportunities, yeah. And
so
anytime you have a lot of kick returns, it's it's not a good sign.
Right. So North will have another chance to run one back here. And Josh Martin's kick comes
Should be
down
a
at
good
12.
one.
Ryan Ali looking, Austin Ouellette looking for an opening, gets it out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah,
That's the one player they haven't been able to get on track.
And as we talked about earlier, Scott Knight said, we have to make sure we limit what Ouellette does to us. He burned us last game, and we got to make sure we know where he is at all times.
99 yards.
They kicked to him that time too, so they feel pretty strong about their
And
their
Dante
kick coverage.
Lorendi said we have to make sure we watch what how like 10 guys do,
Pick your
right?
poison,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Downing and Agor and Amigo and Holland #1.
Yeah.
And also Beeran, and it just goes on. It's just,
He's the one that spreads the mail is Sean
Yeah.
Holland, and that's kind of been their
the
mode
middle,
of
not much
operation
there.
here. Yeah.
Tom looks like he's not in Mexico City anymore, covering the Patriots.
Wow.
He's cold.
A little bit colder.
Or Miami.
Somebody asked me the other day, are you in Mexico City? I said, what's your next stupid question?
Yeah. Plum has covered the Patriots for many years. Shotgun snap.
Screen.
Loveless back. Screen middle.
And
Ouellette
covered
outplayed.
well.
Yeah, the thing that you teach your defensive linemen, you watch the replay here, you're never going to get a free run like this at the quarterback. As you watch, the offensive line just lets them all in, and then they try to go second level. The second level of South had it figured out pretty well, and a minimal gain there. But
2 yards, 3rd and 4 at the 36.
You know it's coming.
Jalen Pacheco was in on that tackle, number 31.
And Scott Knight raved about Pacheco defensively this week. He
Those
says
two made the difference when they came back healthy for this team. I
absolutely
think.
right.
Swing pass, Loveless finds his receiver knocked out of bounds
That's
after
a
a
first
decent
down.
gain. Sam Nichols.
Great play there.
First down.
Loveless rolls left, finds Nichols in the left flat, and picks up the first down for North. From here, it's definitely a first down. They'll move the sticks. So 1st and 10 for the Titans. So they won that down. So good for them. See what they come back with here on 2nd down as Maldonado enters the game. We got Jenkins and Maldonado with Loveless in the backfield here.
And the snap goes to Loveless. He's going to hand it off to Jenkins. Jenkins gets a burst through the line.
Well done there. They use Maldonado as like a pulling guard, and he kicks out at the point of attack, and Jenkins follows it right off tackle. Well-designed play, well executed by the Titans, setting up a second down, and a positive play for the Titans. So now your playbook, you have more choices, more options with your playbook because you have 2 downs to get 4.
At the midway point of the 3rd quarter, I.J. Jenkins gets wrapped up.
And I'll tell you, if we can watch the replay there, you can't bounce those plays outside. They're not designed to go there. You're going to take a loss instead of getting 1 yard. If he follows his lead block, Maldonado has a pancake block. Can we watch that again?
He's probably going to go through to the
Maldonado pancakes his guy.
He's probably going to get about a 6-yard gain if he stays in the middle.
At least don't bounce it outside.
Instead, he loses 4, and it's now 3rd and 9, 4 down territory likely at the 45-yard line.
You go back, you watch the film, go where the ball's supposed to go.
In a 48-14 football.
3rd and 9. Loveless is going to roll to his left. Sets up. Looked like he was going to throw it, but he pulls it down. He sprints to the wide side of the field.
Nobody there. He's going to eat it and go.
Loveless
Great
has
job.
the first down, and he is going to be tackled after a gain of about 20.
Now, guys, think of how far he ran. He was from the near sideline at the 42-yard line, our side, and he went all the way around down to where he is now.
We ran about 80 yards.
Yeah.
You put that in as an 80-yard run, Tom? And we have a penalty on the play here.
Right at the point of the tackle.
I wonder if maybe there was a
30, and North's starting to move back.
Keep our eye on the referee. And
North is moving. Keep your eye on North. They're moving back.
Be willing to bet we have unsportsmanlike conduct on North.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
Anytime the play gets extended like that, The ball carrier's held up. Things are happening in that scrum. Little extracurricular activity. And
how sensitive are the officials to the spoken word down in the field?
That'll move the ball back.
There's your,
There's
your answer
right
there.
there. You know, it wasn't anything.
That'll move it back to the 45.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
But I guess
rear
what
its
I'm
ugly
asking
head in a
is,
game
does
like
it have
this.
to be a curse word, or is it going to just be anything?
Oh, no. It can be anything. It can be a taunt. It can be a look.
Yeah.
It can be a gesture. Yeah. And they want to keep pretty good control of it. And it's still a high school game, and there's lessons to be learned here by these kids and the ways that you conduct yourself and so forth.
So it's going to be first down and 25. Ball's spotted at the 45-yard line. They need to get to the 20 for the first down. Actually, they're going to move the markers now.
Yeah, they'll set first and 10. It's
first
a
and 10.
It's a dead.
That's more like it.
It's dead ball foul. So,
right.
You know, going back to a couple plays earlier, I hope North goes back to that play where they follow Maldonado right up the gut there, because boy, he really pancaked his man, and Tom said it. That would have been at least a 6-yard gain potentially.
And pancake for those folks that only think it's for breakfast is when you put your opponent.
And they do. They run power. Yeah. And again, there they go with Harris off tackle and Maldonado serving as that kick out block on power. And man, he is a tough runner downhill. Follow your blockers.
On Thanksgiving? You go
absolutely not. You gotta,
no?
Oh no.
Well, I'll tell you what. When they play the game on Thanksgiving,
yes.
coaches used to meet at 6 a.m.
That's
for
correct.
breakfast.
Yep.
The two teams coaching staff.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. That's right.
That's a tradition that's going. Huh?
Yep. Now they'll just go out to a bar.
No comment there, Tom.
Oh.
All eggnog from here on out, my friend.
And handoff to Jenkins.
There you go. You see, you go.
Off
That was Harris, and
Curtis Harris.
You follow your blocks. You run where the ball is supposed to go. Every play is designed to score a touchdown, but it's not going to, because the defense is going to counter that blocking scheme. But you're going to get positive yardage out of it, and that's the thing that you try to stress to your, to your team here. Follow your blocks. And now you have 2 downs. You give 2 downs to get a yard and a half.
Getting a video clinic here from Coach Roby in the second half of the Turkey Bowl, and we welcome it.
Straight ahead.
And there's a first down.
Yep.
Follow your blocks.
That was Harris doing it. Too. He does it all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Good push up front. He follows Maldonado in through the hole, and sure enough, Maldonado just cleaning people out.
Number 44 in the white. You don't get in front of him.
Boy, really, I tell you, if you do, you're going to know about it.
In that case, it was Saul Pasquale, one of the linebackers for South, for the brunt.
And if you watch here, they run power
Curtis
again.
Harris, first down.
Replay that one again. They are following Maldonado all the way. This time, Maldonado will line up on the right-hand side as a kick-out block. You'll see right here. They just run power. They pull a guard from around the other side, and Harris has a huge hole. So they're going to run what they run. But that's what North does. That's how they.
Yeah, they're power
run.
too.
And those are and you can see those are their best plays.
Yep.
And as a result, they're getting good chunks of yardage here.
Just like they practiced it, I'm sure. Lovelace back in the shotgun for North. First and 10.
Maldonado.
They'll reward him
this time. And look at
there
him.
You
He's
go,
rumbling.
big fella.
Is he in?
It's going to be. They're going to down him at the 1.
He's at the 1. A rumbling, stumbling bundle of joy here for the Titans is Kevin Maldonado.
I have Kevin in class too. He's a great young man, and they reward him with all of his fine blocking. They give him the ball, and absolutely.
Nice.
And hopefully they let him finish it here.
No, that's Maldonado.
And he is the lone running back here, or fullback, as Tom points out. He is
No,
plowing ahead.
no.
He is going to be.
He's working.
Going, he's in.
Oh, that was.
They're
going to
give it to
progress.
him.
He's in.
Wow.
It's nice to see him.
That was under Ward's effort.
The
wasn't
will
it?
to score.
Look at him just keep churning the legs.
Effort,
he's pushing. He's pushing. He's pushing. The
Making
play's
sure
not
that
dead.
he doesn't touch anywhere and his body just leans forward.
And an assist on the play
Don't
to
forget,
number 61.
He's also got, I think, an interception this year.
He does.
Thrown in the middle of the line.
But I'll tell you right
And
there,
he's-
Tom,
he's
the
a
thing
big player for them.
The thing that's important there is Harris has a couple of nice runs. Jenkins has a nice run. But it's all due to the folks up front. You see right there, Kevin Maldonado. He's had a good series right there, and he'll block the edge on this extra point by Campo. He'll sleep well tonight.
Campo's kick nearly blocked, but he gets it up, and it is good. So it's a 48-21 game. So North draws to back within
more importantly,
27.
it probably, unless there's a turnover and another quick score by South with 2 in a row, removes the running time factor.
Right, and gives more length to the game, more opportunity for Coach's Night and Lorendi to get more players into it. But I just saw a guy that we probably will be seeing a lot of for the next 3 years for North on that play, number 61.
Yep.
Max Ackerman, a freshman, pretty good sized offensive lineman.
North has played, I think at one point this year, they were starting 3 offensive linemen that were freshmen this year. So up front, they're going to be pretty good moving forward. Are the Titans, I think, and both teams have some great freshmen, and we're seeing them here tonight.
Mike Loveless gets to play behind them for another year. He's a junior quarterback. .246 remains third quarter. North has cut into the deficit, trailing by 4 scores, 27 points, as they kick it off here.
Yeah, there's your onside kick that we talked about. It
fielded nicely. The up man, number 12, was Devin Linscott, and he had some nice hands on him.
And you see what they do now is that, you know, most teams put their skill guys in that front line for this very reason. It's not an onside hands team.
It did go 10.
But they put guys that have decent hands on that front line for that very reason. They're also the guys that have to run the furthest to block. They have to turn and run. So a lot of times, you know, the days of putting the big linemen in that front line, those are long gone. You put athletic kids with good hands in the front line.
So Sean Holland getting the play call from the sideline. The lone running back, number 30, is Jarrett Beeren. One receiver split to the left, trips right. The pitch, Beeren turns the corner, runs into a couple of Titans, and gets a gain of about 5 on the first down carry. So it'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Panthers offense, which has been able to move the ball every which way. Quarterback keepers, handoffs, and long and short passes from Sean Holland, who has racked up some amazing yardage numbers that Tom cited at the end of the
But you
first
see
half.
what they're doing, though. They're changing it up. They're giving the ball to guys like Beeren and Pacheco to try to keep it on the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Beeren had 46 yards of the 61 on that drive, on that previous drive.
Alex
So here they
Amigo
go.
is in motion. He gets the pitch.
Yep.
And Amigo has the first down. He's dragged down after a gain of about 7.
Yeah, just
And we have a flag come in here late.
Yeah, late hit.
Let's see what the call is.
It was a well-designed play to the field. It was a dive option play, and it looks
they're
like we're going to
pointing
have a
against South.
hold on South. So
Let's see if we can pick it up.
on the replay, it looks like good blocking on the perimeter, and then it looks like maybe he has a hand on Willette's shoulder pad.
That's just
That's ticky-tack.
That's
maybe.
ticky-tack
Yeah.
with the
That was
runner
it.
Yeah.
down, already down.
If
I
that
mean,
was it, yeah.
I'm
if that's
saying
what
that's
they're looking at. That's just a bad call.
And as a coach, you tell your kids too, look, you got called for holding. That means it was a holding call. But you know, it's pretty much how you teach it. Up under the chest plate, and his hand may have slid a little bit to underneath the shoulder pad. So that's a tough call.
So it'll be 2nd and about 2nd and 10 for the 47-yard line.
So the North defense has to take advantage of this here. They really need to get off the field and give their offense another shot.
Holland
They'll keep it.
And he has
That is
got the
steam.
first down.
There's so
sure
much
does.
for that train of thought.
He just gets yards.
Good
at
idea,
will.
Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him on 2nd and 18. It doesn't matter for him. It's just whatever he needs, he gets. 1st and 10 for South, now in North territory once again. Just over a minute and a half remains in the 3rd quarter as we look down the line of scrimmage just about from the sideline here at Stellos. Holland communicating to his receiver on the left there, and handoff up the middle. Beering with a big gainer on the first down carry.
I was going to say there, a good push up by the up front guys of the South offensive line, just engaging that North front four and pushing them back, and really not getting touched till the second level there was Beering.
One of the offensive linemen, we haven't mentioned number 72 there, that right tackle is Kyle Reeder. Next to him is Seth Marcano. And Holland might have just come out of the game.
That might be it.
They might have just decided the third quarter's coming to an end, and that might be it.
That might be it. 49 seconds left. They're
Yeah,
all applauding
and
Holland.
substituted.
Yeah, the players on the field were applauding.
Right. So Derek Downing carries it for a first down. Almost to the 30-yard line. That will move the chains. New quarterback into the game for the Panthers is number 11, Anthony Mail. Is there Melee or Mail? I'm not sure.
Mealy.
Mealy. There you go.
Mealy. I had a kid in high school.
And a senior, 5'11", 200 pounds, and
good for Anthony getting out there in the
absolutely.
Turkey Bowl game. Another player getting a round of applause, Alex Amigo, as he comes off for the last time, it appears.
So Coach Knight emptying a little bit of his bench here offensively as the third quarter comes to an end. Nice to see some of these other seniors who've worked real hard get an opportunity to play.
Delay.
That's
game.
okay. Take a delay, and interesting time to do it, but nevertheless nice for those seniors to be recognized.
Yeah, you know, he could have waited till the end of the quarter, but then you don't really get the
clap
acknowledgement
and
that,
right.
hey, this is my last time on the field.
Right. And it looks like South didn't have enough players in the line of scrimmage.
They're
going
to get it back.
So North will, it's a fumble and North gets it. It should have been a penalty on South. Would have been declined, but they didn't have 7 guys in the line of scrimmage.
Donovan LeBate with the recovery for the Titans, number 29, as Mealy just lost the handle on the shotgun snap. With 1 second remaining in the third quarter, it's Titan ball. So Mike Lovelace, quarterback for North, getting the play call from the sideline.
I'd really like to see North continue to do what they did the last drive, run the isolation and the power with Maldonado leading it up in there. It was such an effective drive for North.
It's like Kevin Maldonado
not in the game right now. They're just going to send him. That's Jenkins up straight ahead.
Twist forward for a couple.
Maybe
That's the end of the third quarter.
Might need a break, Tom.
Needs a breather,
yeah, because he plays defensive line.
Both ways.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
He's a two-way player for the Titans, and he does some good work up front on the defensive line for North as well.
End of 3, 48-21.
We'll get our fourth helping of the Turkey Bowl coming up here, the fourth quarter in the off. They put a fresh 12 minutes up on the board. It's a 27-point lead for South with much of their potent starters, the starting team, coming off the field to applause, announcing to everyone that this will be the last time they appear in the game. And for the seniors, last time in the Nashua High School uniform playing football.
And both of these programs, I might add, have had some postseason experience. They've gone into the playoffs. North last year with a semifinal run. South got to the quarters in the year before that. North again got to the first round of the playoffs, and South this year got to the first round. So these teams have had some postseason experience, and with the new divisions and the new alignment, have given some teams some more opportunities. So it's good to see. And we don't know what next year holds in terms of alignment. Talking to Coach Knight, he says Division I could be two
separate
10-team conferences,
which basically is what they are really.
Really what they are right now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Except you will always play those teams in your conference, I'm imagining.
Don't know what they'll do.
So,
fourth quarter begins with a shotgun snap, and it is another quarterback on the field for North as both teams go.
I think that's Espinal there. Another young man who's a good athlete. And I think he handed off to number 80, Matt Wall there. on a short gain. So 3rd and 8 here for the Titans.
And getting some applause as he comes off the field. Senior R.J. Jenkins calls it a high school career as he gets congratulated, leaving the Stellos Monofield turf.
Yeah, Jenkins affected by a bum ankle a little bit there towards the end of the year, but a real talented
in
kid.
the win over Merrimack. That derailed his season, I thought, in a way.
And a real good track athlete, too, I might add, part of that dominant Nashua North track team. As Espinal keeps the ball, makes a nice little run there to the sideline.
Yeah, the elusiveness of Espinal right at the beginning here.
Fakes this.
Made this play.
Fakes the stretch, see if he picks up a nice block on the perimeter, and then just kind of gets his body in the way to Hezbollah. So they're going to mark him out of bounds a couple of yards short of where I thought he had gotten. I thought he got to about a yard away from the sticks. They're going to give him 4th and about 3 from the 48-yard line.
It is 4th
or excuse
down.
me, 48.
So
he's going to keep it.
Espinal keeps it. He's going to get dragged down
Looks
just
like he's
short.
Gonna be short. We'll see what the spot leads to, but this official on the near side has it spotted about a half a yard short, I believe.
South will take over on downs. I
Looked
wouldn't
like
be surprised to see the
Pacheco
score
made the
stay.
tackle.
Just a design quarterback keep, and Pacheco tackling the football there, rips him down, actually carries him forward for about a yard, and South's going to take over possession, 1st and 10.
Yeah, no need for the measurement. It's
No.
short of the marker.
No, where he had it was clearly a yard to about a half a yard short.
And keeping this in mind too, you're going to see the Panthers continue to run their offense regardless of who's out there. You know, you're going to see the stretch plays, you're going to see the quarterback keeps, you're going to see the screens and the RPOs and those types of things. It's just part of the offense.
I forgot what RPOs do.
Sure, it's a run pass option. The quarterback will take the ball, he'll fake the dive or the zone run play, and he'll give the impression that he's going to keep it, and he has the option to keep it or throw the ball to the perimeter. So it's almost like a triple option type play, depending on what the corner does. If the corner comes off the receiver, the quarterback will throw it to the receiver. There you go, a little stretch play, well blocked by the Nashua South.
Downing churning for the sideline, gets there, tiptoeing just out of bounds, short of the 25-yard line. The play started on the 49, so gain of about 26 yards on that.
Good athleticism by Downing as he tiptoed up the sideline, and he really has that breakaway speed for Nashua South. Had a really good year for Coach Knight.
Derek Downing, a senior, and
don't forget how the year started for Downing. The second game of the year, his grandfather has a heart attack in the stands.
Oh,
right.
That's right, huh? Sweep right, and that is Tavon Olson on the carry.
Yeah, Tavon, a 5'10", 163-pound defensive back wide receiver, only a junior, showing some flashes, and he'll definitely be a go-to guy next year for Coach Knight in this Panther offense.
Ball toward the right hash mark now.
Neely barking signals.
And Neely will hand it off. Number 28 for South is Joseph Buturla. And Buturla, sophomore, carries it for 5.
A good size sophomore, 2 at 5'9", 178. We'll round up and go 180.
First down on the carry.
Yeah. And again, as we spoke, they're going to continue to run their things. These are the plays they run. The stretch, the zone, inside zone, outside zone, the RPOs. Neely barking signals. A fumble on the play. Looks like North recovered it.
They do.
North's going to pounce on that.
They were running stretch there, and it looks like it was recovered by number 29 on the play was Donovan LeBate.
LeBate with the recovery.
It's his second recovery.
Yeah, he was gotten both fumbles.
Johnny on the spot. Yeah.
DL down low with the recovery for North. So they are on offense here. Full 10 minutes left to be played here in the 2017 Turkey Bowl. North back on offense with some new characters out there, including their quarterback, Jaden Espinal. There's number 7.
Espinal, a freshman.
Slot receivers near side for North are Anthony Sexton and Nick Scalera. Hand off to the lone running back. Nice hole as he charges up, gaining about 6 or 7 for Ryan Ali.
Yeah, Ryan Ali had a huge hole there to run through. And nice job by the Titan offensive line opening that up on the right side.
Call a gain of 7, 2nd and 3.
So again, those positive plays on first down is something you always want to come away with. Gives you some different options on second and short to medium.
Back in the shotgun, Jaden Espinal blocking the signals.
He'll keep it on the pull.
Pulls it away from Ali and
Ooh,
boy, hard and knocked loose.
So the Titans may have gotten it.
That was
hopefully Espinal was okay. Jaden took a big hit.
Oh, you sure
blind
did.
Side there. And
no, the Panthers have it.
Ball came loose.
He's up and walking off slowly. He did take a pretty good shot here.
It was the hesitation. One of the players got it from behind. It's number 54.
Boom. Yeah.
For South that delivered the blow. Suman Morissette, a 6'2" senior.
So it looks like the Panthers will take over at about the 25-yard line.
And you know, that's a fumble by North, but the reason that they gave up 48 points, not because of turnovers.
No, turnovers have had nothing to do with this game, except for one that South got the ball back and scored just before the end of the half on the interception, off the interception.
Around the right side goes number 44. Did I see Bob Bates said the name because I don't have him in my program.
They ran stretch right there, and Ben Levine, a sophomore, did a nice job of blocking on the perimeter. Yeah, number 44. I don't believe we have him on our roster.
But we do have him on our camera, and it's a nice close-up. Handoff, good tackle by the North defensive linemen, including number 73, Max Shepard, and number 62, Spencer Whiting.
Couture on the carry, 28.
Whiting, another freshman in there.
Another freshman.
Yep.
Yeah. Shotgun. Neely.
It's nice to see some of these younger kids get an opportunity. They've been practicing for 3 weeks too.
Yeah,
Kyle
no kidding.
Salemi.
I know it.
Kyle Salemi, who is a sophomore, listed at 118 pounds, bravely takes that one up the middle. He'll shuttle out of the game.
So 4th down and 3 here for the Panthers. And that's going to get swallowed up in the backfield, but second effort will get him close, but I think it's going to be turned over on downs.
Yeah, turned over on downs.
Number 8 on the carry was Ben Levine.
I think unless somebody breaks a long one, the score we see right here on the board is going to stay the same.
I think we're going to play in between the 20s the rest of the way out, Tom?
I think we're going to be playing between the 20 and the 40 right here.
Well, these are, you know.
This is when we could have used running time, gentlemen.
This is the future.
Just making that observation
right here. The future of both
I'm
programs.
putting it out there right now.
Here's what I think. You're gonna see some guys out here playing. Some that are finishing their career, and maybe they weren't starters, but they're going to get an opportunity to finish it. But you're also going to see some guys on both teams that 3 years from now are going to be the highlighted guys in this game. So you're going to get a glimpse of what's to come here as you see some of the South players on the sideline hugging it out. The conclusion of a great season for them, and they'll finish this year on a high note.
South's got some pretty good numbers as far as players in uniform, huh?
Coach Knight told me, you know, the last 2.5 weeks they've had 50+ kids the entire time. Everybody competing, and that was the key. I said, what's the key to keep your kids engaged? And he said, we compete every period in practice.
And lots of purple fabric you need to
the coaches,
cover all those players.
And the coaches keep the players excited. They do a lot of sudden change stuff, situational stuff, to really keep them mentally sharp, mentally focused. And I know North does some things very similar to that as well, and it's Obviously, they're going to come up on the short end of the stick here in this one, but I think you're going to see great things from both programs in the future.
Handoff is to Ryan Ali, turns the corner, gets hit hard. Derek Downing in on the 81, excuse me, I got my 1 and 8 reversed there. South's 81
Yeah, I don't
is
think
Kyle O'Connor.
You saw Downing last series, but
Yeah.
on the offense, but I don't think you're going to see him again in this game either.
Right.
And that may have been,
Some
I
new
don't
faces.
know if that was Dom Gentry on the carry or was it Ali? You said Ali, maybe it was, yeah.
He's still there, yeah. And number 4 in the backfield for North
And that would be Gentry.
is Gentry.
Oh boy. I think you're going to see the same play to
And
the other
South's
side
going to get
there.
it back.
Well, Tom,
South
we were
got
wrong.
it in the pile.
Not between the 20 and the 40. We're down inside the 10, so this turnover.
Yeah. That was Kyle O'Connor with the recovery.
And a
number
lot
81.
of times, you know, your mesh with your quarterback and your running back, you may not get the same amount of reps, and sometimes those
Yeah.
handoffs aren't as smooth. And this late in the game, hate to see it end like that.
Right. Well, tick under 7 minutes to go. Still some football to be played here. Panthers now back on offense. And you see the quarterback is number 1 for the Panthers. A lot of the players are the freshman and JV variety, so they've gone beyond the limits of our roster, actually. The handoff up the middle.
I think this was the freshman that Coach Knight was talking about. His name is Christopher Keefe.
Okay.
He's listed as number 1 on the roster that I was handed.
Oh,
earlier.
good. You got it.
Chris
Yeah.
Keefe. And he was
Christopher
saying that
Keefe, yeah.
this young man could be, you know, South has always been known to have a young man who was be a 3-year starter after his freshman year, and that's kind of the way it's been. They had several players with Ferreter and Farkas and you know, Trevor Knight and Holland. And this young man Keith is the next one in line, and Coach Knight says you could see some great things from him. You know, if he develops over the course of the next couple of years here.
Chris Keefe on the carry there. Number 6 is Saul Pasquale, the lone running back in this formation for the Panthers, in which they do have 3 receivers split to the left. Let's see if Chris Keefe puts it up in the air. They'll hand it off, and it's Pasquale for the touchdown. Saul Pasquale scores.
When you see him take a step back to let the blocking develop, he'll go backwards first to go forwards. And again, North has him in the backfield. Looks like number 73, Max Shepard, had him wrapped up, but he just got through there and able to get into the end zone.
30-point lead again for South as they go for the point after. Josh Martin to do the kicking.
And you see that I believe Holland is Holland holding.
Yeah, good question. He did the holding before.
Yes, he's out there.
Yeah.
So
they keep that tandem.
yeah, a lot of times, you know, we always used to work a backup holder in the event of, but you know, it's a pretty important play, and you want to make sure the timing is there. And so you're looking at a total of 76 points here between the two teams.
Just heard Ed Leish's, who has done this game forever. The Nashua sportscasting legend said that tied the record for the most points ever scored in a Turkey Bowl at 76. And we still do have 5:54 left, so this could break the record here depending on what happens. Of course, Ed Leish's goes down and awards the Leish's Trophy to the winner of this game. It's going to be awarded to South, no secret. And then everybody can go, and I will be watching football tomorrow again.
Absolutely right.
I enjoy doing this game with you guys, but I do get my dose of NFL on Thursday, as well as some turkey. And looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I want to wish everybody out there watching and all the alumni that have come home a very happy Thanksgiving. It's always good to see these two teams play on Thanksgiving, night before Thanksgiving now, but it's great for the city, and it's great for the kids.
The kick is fielded and returned by number 2 for the Titans, Sam Nichols. be at the 25-yard line or so.
Yeah,
and again,
Nichols, another young player who's played a pretty prominent role for these Titans throughout the year. You know, playing some running back. He's also the punter, so we definitely be seeing some more of him next year.
I meant to say, and every opportunity tomorrow that you can, switch over to NashuaETV for Turkey Bowl replays, starting with the 2004 Turkey Bowl at noontime. And then ball's fumbled, it's on the turf, and unfortunately it looks like another Panther recovery.
And again, we talked earlier, the mesh points between quarterback and running back, because what the quarterback is doing there, John, is he's not looking at where he's putting that ball. He's reading the defensive end to determine whether he's going to give or pull. And there's got to be a precise mesh point there, and if you don't have that point, you get what you have, which is a fumble. And those are things you work on from day one. And sometimes when you have, your younger players come in and they've been standing on the sideline for a while, they don't mesh very well.
So back on offense, the Panthers go. Anthony Neal, or is it Young? There's another quarterback in there. So number 10, Dante Young, is the new quarterback into the game for Nashua South.
Ben handed that ball off to number 44. I don't think we have that number. There he is on your screen.
Yep.
Followed his block, the block of the pulling guard there.
Here are the final stats on Sean Olive. 13 of 16 for 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. In the air, 12 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown on the ground.
Pretty good day.
North held him to 100 rushing.
300, just barely. 377 yards of offense.
And he's the best thing about Sean too, and I've known him since he was hip high. He's an outstanding young man. He's a great student. He's going to continue to, he plays basketball and lacrosse. He's a three-sport athlete, but he's a great student and a super young man. And it's nice to see him go out like this.
Before we start showing Turkey Bowls tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day at noon, we have America's Hometown Thanksgiving Parade at 9 a.m. on NashuaETV Channel 99. Pete, is that a Nashua parade, or where's that come from? You're not going to get it? Oh, they didn't make it available. Okay, so you're going to have to plug that hole in the schedule.
Pete, what about if Jason, John, and I just kind of march down the street?
I'm sure the people
going to be out there at 9 a.m.?
Will that do it? I mean, I can wear like 3 jackets to be afloat.
They'd be throwing stuff at us.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
When we throw candy to people, what do we do?
I don't know.
Plymouth Nats. Oh, okay. Interesting. 3-hour parade. Wow. It's impressive.
Pull the guard again up in there, and Young will keep the ball as he scrambles to the right. Ooh, trying to get first down yardage, but he's going to be wrapped up there.
Dante Young going to town. They're going to work here in the 2017 Turkey Bowl, and just eluding the dive of number 41, Rylan Brito.
Looked like Young would have been better served there, handing that ball off. It was a nice kick out block by the guard, or at least following it. But these are all things that, as these players develop and get older, they'll see it a little bit better. The game slows down for them. Ooh.
Rylan Brito makes that tackle on South Joseph Buturla. Bring up 3rd down. And how far do they have to go? About 6.
About 6 yards inside of 3 minutes here.
So the Turkey Bowl replays, by the way, they'll go all day Thursday, all day Friday, and all day Saturday from 9 a.m. to midnight. So just tune in. Ooh. In the backfield, a nice tackle made by number 68.
North will take over on downs. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I got to go down on the field and Happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Happy Thanksgiving, Tom.
And,
Great working with you, buddy.
See you. Great working with you guys, and we'll see you when it's a little warmer on the court and maybe a little colder on the ice.
In the rink.
Yep.
Yes. Brendan Geddes was the tackler there for North, number 68. He's also on offense. You can see him in the middle of the line.
We got a flag flying in
down.
late there.
Yeah.
From the back judge, it looks like.
2:10 to go.
See what call on the field is here. Got a personal foul face mask on the defense.
Face mask.
So that's going to bring it.
Titan band in action.
So they get to half the distance of the goal once they get inside the 10-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 4, a little over 4 for the Panthers. Two backs in the backfield. And they're just going to, yeah, he's going to be swallowed up in the backfield there. And a real nice play by number 4 for the Titans, Dom Gentry. He came flying off that edge into the backfield untouched and made a nice play on the tackle for loss. And now the Titans will take over 1st and 10 from their own, it looks to be about 12-yard line.
A good read by Dom Gentry. And so let's see if the Titans can run the 2-minute offense here. It's a lot to ask of your 3rd and 4th string players to go 90 yards in 2 minutes.
I just got an interesting text from Steve Lane, the boys' basketball coach. The Celtics are down 16 in the middle of the 2nd quarter, so this is just about the time they make a comeback.
They got them right where they want.
Win by 10.
They're just amazing this
There you
year.
go. And they're playing some good basketball. It's a fun team to watch for sure.
Who are they playing tonight?
Oh, that's a great question.
Carry goes up the middle just about. Number 1 for North. Another roster from North? Or
What number are you looking for, John?
Oh, it was number, was it? I thought it was number 1. Maybe it was Ryan Ali on the carry.
Okay, Ali's.
Yeah, he just got
Ali's
part
3.
of his number obscured. So Dom Gentry, the running back, Ali running the offense with the Wildcat.
There
Sprints
goes
to the
Ali.
left.
Nice run over the left outside part of that South defense.
Forced out of bounds over there by Sam Ferreira.
1st and 10. Yeah, they're playing the Miami Heat, I believe, down in Miami right now.
Yeah.
A bit different weather down there than we're having up here.
Sure there is.
So 1st and 10 for the Titans. They're at their 32-yard line.
Ali, direct snap, and he's going to get dragged down after a short gain.
Swallowed up there, it looked like by number maybe 67.
Bring up 2nd and 8. $55 points for South, the work of Sean Holland and company. North trying for one more score before it ends, but time's running out.
Dom Gentry in a good solid run there on the inside zone handoff. Swallowed up by a sea of purple, bring up a 3rd down.
I guess we're right about where the game would be played the rest of the game.
Yeah. Aside from a couple of turnovers.
Yeah. As some of the players from the band members get to say hi, Mom, on the sidelines before we end this one.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity to wish everybody out there a happy Thanksgiving, safe travels if you're on the road. And it's been a pleasure doing the game with you, John, and looking
Same here,
forward to
Jason. It's an
many more.
education always when we do football together. I appreciate it. Ryan Ali running to the left is going to be tackled in the backfield, and that will do it. The 2017 Turkey Bowl is in the books. A terrific memory for all, especially if you happen to be a South team member and family member and on the coaching staff. Congratulations to all involved in running this one. Also to our NashuaETV crew, an outstanding job. Thank you for watching. I'm John Collins for Jason Roby and Tom King. It is a victory for Nashua South in the 2017 Turkey Bowl. We'll say happy Thanksgiving and good night from Stellos Stadium, everybody.
Lucius is making his way to the group of Panther players, and he will now make the presentation, the family of former Nashua broadcaster Ed Lucius. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you all a fond farewell. We wish you a very best of Thanksgivings, and we'll see you again next year.